Ladies and gentlemen, the opening ceremony is going to start in 5 minutes. For all participants, please turn on your camera and turn off your microphone. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Saya Dr. Gigi Andi Tendri Uno, Ketua Yayasan Pendidikan Ibnu Sina Batam, mengucapkan selamat datang di Yayasan Pendidikan Ibnu Sina Batam. Sejarah Yayasan Pendidikan Ibnu Sina Batam mulai berdiri sejak tanggal 14 Juli 1977 sebagai sambutan umat Islam setempat terhadap rencana pemerintah Republik Indonesia untuk menjadikan Pulau Batam sebagai pusat pengembangan industri, perdagangan, dan pariwisata. Sejak itu, YAPIS telah mengayunkan langkah demi langkah sesuai dengan kemampuan dan kepercayaan masyarakat yang diamanatkan kepadanya untuk mendirikan dan membina sekolah-sekolah dari tingkat yang paling rendah sampai ke tingkat yang paling tinggi, dengan segala bentuk dan program studi secara bertahap. Pada tanggal 8 Januari 1978, resmilah berdiri SD Ibnu Sina dan telah mulai menamatkan peserta didiknya pada tahun 1982. Kemudian pada tahun 1983, YAPIS mulai mendirikan pendidikan TK Ibnu Sina, kemudian pada tahun 1984 mendirikan SMP Ibnu Sina, 2 tahun kemudian mendirikan SMA pada tahun 1986, yang saat ini telah berubah menjadi SMK Ibnu Sina. Kemudian di tahun 1988, YAPIS telah memikirkan untuk mendirikan perguruan tinggi Ibnu Sina yang telah disampaikan oleh Bapak Haji Andi Ibrahim. Sehingga pada tahun 1993, resmilah berdiri Sekolah Tinggi Ilmu Ekonomi Ibnu Sina pada tanggal 10 Mei 1993. Selanjutnya, pada tahun 1998, kembali didirikan Sekolah Tinggi Agama Islam STAI Ibnu Sina. Pada tanggal 28 September 2001, Ketua Umum Yayasan Pendidikan Ibnu Sina mendirikan Sekolah Tinggi Teknik Ibnu Sina. Dan pada tanggal 19 Juni 2008, resmi berdiri Sekolah Tinggi Ilmu Kesehatan. Kemudian pada tahun 2009, sesuai Akta Notaris dan Kemenkumham, YAPIS telah resmi berubah menjadi Yayasan Pendidikan Ibnu Sina Batam yang disingkat YAPISTA. Dan hingga saat ini, YAPISTA menaungi pendidikan dari TK Ibnu Sina berlokasi di Lubuk Baja, SD Ibnu Sina berlokasi di Lubuk Baja, dan SD Ibnu Sina 02 berlokasi di Kabil. Kemudian SMP Ibnu Sina berlokasi di Lubuk Baja dan SMP Ibnu Sina 02 berlokasi di Kabil. SMK Ibnu Sina berlokasi di Lubuk Baja dengan 5 jurusan administrasi perkantoran, akuntansi, pemasaran, teknik informatika, otomotif, hingga ke perguruan tinggi yaitu Sekolah Tinggi Agama Islam dengan 3 prodi yaitu Pendidikan Agama Islam, Hukum Ekonomi Syariah, dan Pendidikan Islam Anak Usia Dini. Kemudian, Yayasan Pendidikan Ibnu Sina Batam juga menaungi Universitas Ibnu Sina yang merupakan hasil merger dari STY Ibnu Sina, STT Ibnu Sina, dan Stikes Ibnu Sina. Berdasarkan keputusan Menteri Riset Teknologi dan Pendidikan Tinggi pada tanggal 26 Agustus 2019. Di mana saat ini Universitas Ibnu Sina menaungi 3 fakultas dan 8 program studi yaitu Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis dengan S1 Manajemen, D3 Akuntansi, S1 Akuntansi, dan S2 Manajemen. Kemudian Fakultas Teknik dengan S1 Informatika dan S1 Teknik Industri, serta Fakultas Ilmu Kesehatan, S1 Kesehatan dan Keselamatan Kerja, dan S1 Kesehatan Lingkungan. Serta Yayasan Pendidikan Ibnu Sina Batam juga mempunyai fasilitas untuk mahasiswa dan seluruh warga di Kota Batam yaitu Klinik Ibnusina dan Aula Ibnusina. Mari bersama Ibnu Sina kita tingkatkan ilmu untuk menjadi generasi bangsa yang berjiwa entrepreneur dan beramal saleh sesuai dengan amanah dari Bapak Haji Andi Ibrahim bahwa pendidikan adalah memanusiakan manusia. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Sarapan pagi dengan ketan. Setelah itu, mencuci kain. Dengan senang hati saya ucapkan, selamat datang dan selamat bergabung para hadirin. Excellencies, distinguished guests, participants, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning and peace be upon to all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Hardianti. It is an amazing opportunity to be your master of ceremony. We are delighted to welcome all of participants to international webinar, Business in the Midst of the COVID-19 pandemic. For your information, this webinar is organized by Magister Management Program, Faculty of Economic and Business, Ibnu Sina University. This is the first international webinar at Ibnu Sina University and will become annual webinar of Magister Management Program. This is an extraordinary achievement for advancement of Ibnu Sina University. Give big applause for Magister Management Program of Ibnu Sina University. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Mrs. Dantis Andi Tandri Umu, as Chairman of Via Pista. The Honorable Associate Professor Dr. Haji Mustaqim Suaib, SEMM CTT, as Rector of Ibnu Sina University. The Honorable Dr. Sabri SEMM CTT, as Dean of Faculty of Economics and Business, Ibnu Sina University. The Excellency, our keynote speakers. First, Honorable, a speaker from Ibnu Sina University, Indonesia, Dr. Henry Herman SE, MSI, CTT. An additional information that Dr. Henry is the head of Magister Management Program and also the chairman of the committee for this international webinar. Thank you, Dr. Henry, for your dedication. Honorable speaker from Mindanao State University, Philippines, Dr. Usman D. Aragasi. The Honorable speaker from University Terengganu, Malaysia, Associate Professor Dr. Hatijah Umar, BSc, MSc, PhD. The Honorable speaker from Bingöl University, Turkey, Associate Professor Dr. Imran Aslan. And also the Honorable all of audience and seminar participants. First of all, let's say thanks to God, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, who has been given us healthy and mercy, so we can attend and participate in this event without any obstacles. Secondly, may peace be upon our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, who has guided us into the right ways of life. Ladies and gentlemen, on this special event, we have several agendas. So, allow me to read several sequences of our agenda. First is opening. Next, singing national anthem are Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, and Turkey. And will be continued hymn and march Ibn Sina, and then reading prayers, and then opening speech, and the main program webinar are hosted by a moderator, and the last is closing. All blessed participants, the first agenda is opening. Let's start this agenda by reading Basmalah together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Furthermore, the national anthem, starting from Indonesia Raya, and will be continued with the national anthem of Malaysia, Philippines, and Turkey. The audience is in perfect manner.
Indonesia like the speak Hantoga the host invite you to speak.
Ladies and gentlemen, next, listen hymn and March Ibn Sina.
Bersyukur padamu Allah Esa atas rahmat anugerah limpah.
Ladies and gentlemen, next reading prayers. The prayer who will be delivered by Mr. Asmil Fauzi Fariska, SH. Screen is yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin, hamdan syakirin, hamdan na'imin, hamdan yuafi ni'amahu wa yukafi mazidah. Ya Rabbana lakal hamdu kama yanbaghi li jalali wajhikal karim wa 'azim sultanik. Allahumma salli ala sayyidina Muhammadin tibbil qulubi wa dawaiha wa 'afiyatil abdani wa shifaiha wa nuril absari wa diyaiha wa ala alihi wa barik wasallam. اللهم اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم من النبيين والصديقين والشهداء والصالحين. اللهم إنك أنت الأحد الصمد الذي لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. اللهم اغفر لنا ذنوبنا ولوالدينا وارحمهما كما ربينا صغيرا ولجميع المسلمين والمسلمات والمؤمنين والمؤمنات الأحياء منهم والأموات إنك سميع قريب مجيب الدعوات ويا قاضي الحاجات. اللهم ادفع عنا الغلاء والوباء والفحشاء والمنكر ما ظهر منها وما بطن عن بلدنا هذا خاصة وسائر البلدان المسلمين عامة يا رب العالمين. اللهم انفعنا بما علمتنا وعلمنا ما ينفعنا يا مقلب القلوب ثبت قلوبنا على دينك وعلى طاعتك. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آله وبارك وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Thank you, Mr. Asmil. All blessed participants, we move to next agenda is greetings. The first speech, last invited, Dean of Faculty of Economics and Business, Ibnu Sina University, Dr. Sabri SAMM, CTT. Time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yang terhormat Ketua Yayasan Pendidikan Ibnu Sina Batam, Yapista, Mrs. Andi Tendri Umu. Yang terhormat Rektor Universitas Ibnu Sina, Associate Profesor Dr. Haji Mustaqim Suaib, SIMM CTT. Yang terhormat Dr. Henry Herman SE, MSA CTT, Keynote Speaker from Ibnu Sina University, Indonesia. Yang terhormat Associate Profesor Dr. Hadijah Umar, BSc, MSc, PhD, Keynote Speaker from University Terengganu, Malaysia. Yang terhormat Dr. Usman Aragasi, Keynote Speaker from Mindanao State University, Filipina. Yang terhormat Associate Profesor Dr. Imran Aslan, Keynote Speaker from Bingöl University, Turki. Yang terhormat Bapak, Ibu, Saudara-saudari, peserta dan panitia penyelenggara yang berbahagia. Pertama-tama, marilah kita panjatkan puji syukur kehadirat Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, Tuhan yang Maha Esa. Berkat rahmat dan inayahnya, juga kita bisa dapat berkumpul bersama-sama di webinar ini dengan topik Business in the Mid of the COVID-19 Pandemic yang dilaksanakan oleh Pasca Sarjana Manajemen Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis Universitas Ibnu Sina. Tidak lupa selawat serta salam tetap kita curah limpahkan kepada junjungan Nabi besar Muhammad Shallallahu Alaihi Wasallam yang membawa kita keluar dari zaman kegelapan menuju ke zaman tenang benerang. Semoga kita semua mendapatkan syafaatnya pada yaumil akhir kelak. Amin. Kedua, saya mengucapkan terima kasih kepada MC karena telah memberi saya kehormatan besar untuk menyampaikan pidato selamat datang di kesempatan yang baik ini. Sebelum kita memulai seminar ini, saya mengucapkan terima kasih banyak sebesar-besarnya kepada Anda semua yang telah berkomitmen dengan tulus untuk menyukseskan acara ini. Acara ini tidak akan mungkin terlaksana tanpa dukungan dari setiap orang yang hadir di sini. Kami menyambut semua peserta seminar yang hadir di sini. Seminar hari ini mengambil topik tentang kondisi bisnis di tengah pandemi saat ini, dan seminar ini diperuntukkan bagi mahasiswa pasca sarjana manajemen yang memang menjadi salah satu syarat untuk ujian tesis nanti. Dalam seminar ini kita akan membahas seberapa besar dampak pandemi terhadap bisnis, tidak hanya dari dalam negeri, tetapi juga dari beberapa negara lain seperti Malaysia, Filipina, Turki. Selain itu, kita juga akan belajar dari negara-negara tersebut bagaimana mengatasi tantangan bisnis di masa pandemi. Untuk lebih jelas, nanti kita akan menyimak materi dari keynote speaker yang luar biasa. Dengan menghadiri pertemuan semacam ini, saya yakin Anda akan mendapatkan banyak keuntungan. Anda dapat meningkatkan bahasa Inggris, Anda memperluas persahabatan Anda. Silahkan berpartisipasi dalam kesempatan emas ini, dan saya berharap partisipasi Anda akan membawa beberapa manfaat. Mungkin hanya itu yang bisa saya sampaikan hari ini. Mohon maaf jika masih banyak kekurangan dalam penyelenggaraan acara ini. Semoga seminar ini dapat membawa banyak manfaat bagi kita semua. Sekian, sekali lagi selamat mengikuti seminar ini untuk semua peserta. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Dr. Sabri, for the speech. Next, remarks from Rector of Ibnu Sina University, and also officially opening this international webinar. Let's invite it, Associate Professor Dr. Haji Mustaqim Suaib, SE, MM, CTT. Time is yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah wa syukurillah. La hawla wa la quwata illa billah. Awalan, hayya bina nashkuru syukran ila Allah alladhi qad ata'na ni'matan wa hidayatan hatta nastati'a an najtami'a fi hadzal makanil mubarak. Thaniyan, assalatu wassalamu ala rasulina Muhammadin sallallahu alaihi wasallam alladhi qad hamalana minadh dhulumati ilan nur aw ila azizil alim. Thalithan, ashkuru syukran ila raisil jalasah alladhi qad ata'na waqtan qalilan an aktuba amamakum. Al-an sa'ubaddilu lughati min al-lughati al-arabiyyah ila al-lughati al-injiliziyah. Peace be upon you, the Honorable Mrs. Andi Tenri Umu is Chairman of Yapista. The Honorable Dr. Henry Herman, keynote speaker from Ibnu Sina University, Indonesia. The Honorable Associate Professor Dr. Khatijah Umar, keynote speaker from University Terengganu, Malaysia. The Honorable Dr. Usman Aragasi, keynote speaker from Mindanao State University, Philippines. And the Honorable Associate Professor Dr. Imran Aslan, keynote speaker from Bingöl University, Istanbul, Turkey. Now I want to speak from English to Malaysia or Indonesia. Good morning, hadirin yang berbahagia. Pada hari ini kita telah melaksanakan webinar internasional yang dihadiri para pembicara, tetamu-tetamu kita daripada Malaysia, Filipina, dan Turki. Semoga kita semua mendapat manfaat daripada webinar internasional ini dan kita tetap bersyukur kehadiran Allah Subhanahu wa taala agar apa yang kita dapatkan dalam acara seminar atau webinar internasional ini betul-betul bisa bermanfaat bagi kita semua, bagi bisnis kita, yang mana bisnis-bisnis kita di masa pandemi ini semuanya bermunculan, ide-idenya juga bermunculan. Semoga semua ini memiliki peluang dan daya saing yang bagus bagi kita semua. Finally, saya ucapkan terima kasih. Selamat datang atau welcome to the international webinar. Semoga apa yang kita lakukan pada saat ini semua mendapat ridho hidayah dari Allah Subhanahu wa taala. With Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, I open this international webinar. Officially, thank you. Billahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Excellencies, thank you very much for the opening speech and officially opening this international webinar. Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, now we come to our main program, webinar, who will be led by our moderator, Mr. Samad, SS MPD. Please, Mr. Samad, time is yours.
Thank you for our MC, and thank you give us pantun. Maybe our guests or webinar participant from Philippines want to know what is pantun. Pantun is our traditional at Kepulauan Riau, Batam, or in Malaysia, as Malay traditional that always used for wedding ceremony or formal ceremony. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yeah, the Honorable Associate Professor Dr. Haji Mustaqim Syuib, SEMM CTT, Director of Ibnu Sina University. The Honorable Dr. Sabri, SEMM CTT, the Dean of Economic and Business Faculty of Ibnu Sina University, and the Honorable, our keynote speakers, Dr. Usman Diaragasi, MPA from Mindanao State University, Philippines, Associate Professor Dr. Hadijah Omar, BSc, MSc, PhD from University Malaysia, Terengganu, Malaysia, and Associate Professor Imran Aslan from Bengal University, Turkey. Then our Dr. Henry Herman, SE, MSI, CPT from Universitas Ibnu Sina, Batam, Indonesia. Distinguished guests, conference delegation, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce myself. My name is Samad. Yeah. And I'll be serving you all as moderator for this international webinar. Welcome to international webinar with the main topic, business in the midst of COVID-19 pandemic. In conjunction of first annual international seminar organized by Magister of Management Ibnu Sina University. Okay, before we begin, let me briefly explain about the rules of the session. Yeah. We have 4 keynote speakers that will deliver the speech continuously. In every session, keynote speaker has 35 minutes. And as our information that we have 4 keynote speakers. First, Dr. Usman Yarakasi, MPA from Mindanao State University. The second, Associate Professor Dr. Hadijah Umar, BSc, MSc, PhD from University Malaysia Terengganu. Then the third one, Associate Professor Imran Aslan from Bingöl University, Turkey. Then the fourth keynote speaker, Dr. Henry, SE, MSI, CGT from University Bersina Batam, Indonesia. Ladies and gentlemen, as our information that Dr. Henry Herman, SE, MSI, CTT, also conduct these activities. He is also the head of Magister Management Study Program of Bersina University. Then he also the chairman of this international webinar committee. Yeah. Okay. Distinguished guest, webinar participant. After the first speech of this next session, approximately followed by 10 minutes for Q&A. All webinar participants might ask question by typing in Q&A icon in your Zoom application, or you also might ask question by raise your hand in your Zoom application. So that's all the rules of our webinar session. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and the webinar participant, we proudly invite Dr. Henry Herman, SEMM, CTT, as our first keynote speaker. And please come, Dr. Herman. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Samad. Yeah. How are you today, Pak
Yeah.
Samad?
Fine, thank you, Pak Herman. Yeah, how are you?
I'm fine. So this is first time for our one frame with together with you.
Yeah, we have here in one forum together. This is also proud for me that we have together with us in the first session. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, before we begin the session, yeah.
Pak Samad said this is first is not me for keynote speaker. The Prof. Khatijah from Malay already on in here, so maybe the Prof. Khatijah first. So after for the second one is from Philippines, and then from third from Prof. Imran, and then I last, because this I last for the keynote speaker, but we try to call to Prof. Khatijah first.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. In this session, we will try to call Prof. Khatijah. Is she ready for this first session? Prof. Khatijah, maybe we waiting for you.
Yes, I'm here, Prof.
Yeah. Okay. Can we start our webinar? Your speak first. Can we start?
Okay.
As you're the first keynote speaker, Prof. Khatijah, are you?
Okay, it's fine. It's fine with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are
Okay. Can all hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. So it's okay if I will be the first speaker. Actually, from the tentative, I'm the second, I think. But it's
Yeah,
okay.
Okay,
It's
so
okay,
Prof,
I'm ready.
yes, so sorry, because this is the trouble with electric
Yes,
Terengganu state.
yes.
That's why this is, should be you this number of the second
Yes,
one.
yes, we have to
And
admit
then
that
now this
technology
person.
sometimes got problem.
Okay, thank you, Kakak. So
Yeah.
very much thank you. So
Yeah.
just for the information, is Prof Khatijah is my sister from Professor Terengganu, Malaysia. She's very
Okay.
best. I
Yes,
appreciate
yes.
with her.
Okay, hello, brother.
Hi, thank you.
Okay. Okay, so thank you very much, okay, Mr. Moderator, for today's event. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, again, a very Assalamualaikum and very good morning to Associate Professor Dr. Mustaqim Suaib, Director of Universitas Ibn Sina, Dr. Sabri, Dean of Faculty of Economic and Business, UIS. Okay, and Dr. Henry, my brother there, my little brother, okay, head of Master in Management Program, okay. And then also my salam and very good morning to honorable guests, okay, invited speakers, organizing committees and members, as well as participants of the seminars. Okay, first of all, thank you very much for having me here. I hope that, okay, I can share some points that are hopefully worth to be shared among us all. Again, I'm Khadijah Umar, okay, and from University of Malaysia Terengganu, and I'm glad to be with you all here. And I would really be thankful actually to Dr. Henry because he has made much effort that make the collaboration between University of Malaysia Terengganu and Universitas Ibn Sina a reality. And actually, in the past, we have conducted a few online webinars together, and hopefully in the future, we will have another many other collaborative efforts. Like maybe research and publication collaboration on that, as well as exchange, student exchange or staff exchange in the future, insyaAllah. So apa kabar semua? Ketemu kita di alam maya. Ternyata teknologi mendekatkan kita semua Okay. So a few sentences in Malay or in Indonesia before I begin my talk today. Okay, I'll try to share my material. But if let's say, because this is trouble with me, because sometimes when I want to share my material, I couldn't do that because I try first. If let's say I couldn't share my screen here, I really hope that somebody there can share with me with the participants because I think I have shared my slide with Dr. Henry, but it's okay. I'll try first.
Yes. Don't worry. So we're waiting about it. So the first, before you continue for the open speaker, so I would like to welcome for our student from Malaysia, Singapore, for the Malaysia. So how weather is the Malaysia now?
It has been raining for 3 days here.
Oh, it's good. It's very cold in there.
Yeah, but it's not as cold as in the United States of America or in UK.
Okay. Yeah. That's why. So Indonesia is very hot now. So I hope for hot now, but we still support for our seminar international in here. And so, what about your student now?
Okay. Our student. What do you mean? So,
So
they are having classes now. We are still
Yes.
in the midterm break now.
Okay.
But for
yeah.
master student, no. For master student, next week gonna be their semester break.
Yeah. Okay. So our rector, Professor Mustaqim, is very best. His country, three country for language or bahasa for the advanced speech. They available for the Arabian, also the Malay, of course, is because he's Nepal. And Indonesia is very amazing.
Yeah. Okay, I have shared my screen now. So all of you can see it?
Yeah, we can see.
Okay.
Yes.
So, back to our today's international seminar with the themes of business. Okay, business in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, my subtitle, is new business trends. Okay, opportunities and challenges. Okay, these are the contents of my presentation. Okay, I start with COVID-19 and its impact, and followed by COVID-19 in Malaysia and its impact. I think even though today's talk is general, but I think it's good to know about Malaysia situations too. Okay, even though I know that most of you have known about that. And then I'll go to accelerating post-pandemic economic recovery, followed by post-pandemic business trends. Okay. So post-pandemic business trend, this is the one that I will give focus on. Okay, following that is the new businesses to start and existing businesses to grow. Okay, even though I've prepared this, but I think this one gonna be touched by my friend or my little brother, Dr. Henry. So I'm not going to touch on that. So let Dr. Henry do this part. And then finally, okay, the subsection is prospect for cooperation in accelerating post-pandemic economic recovery, as well as the conclusion, a little bit on conclusion. Okay. Continue. Okay, COVID-19, okay, is not only a global pandemic and public health crisis. Actually, it has severely affected the global economic and financial market. Why I say that? Because significant reduction in income, okay, has been experienced by most of citizens as well as the government, okay, due to business closure, trade disruption, okay, the rise in unemployment, global supply chain disruption, and also maybe the manufacturing industries are among the consequences of the disease mitigation measures that have been implemented in many countries. Okay, a little bit about COVID-19 in Malaysia, if I can share this with you. Okay, I believe that it is worth to share a bit here. Okay, about COVID-19 in Malaysia, even though, okay, I believe that most of you have known it. Okay, COVID-19, actually, the case in Malaysia was first detected on January 24th, 2020, and there were upward swing of the cases in February 2020, and the number was steadily increasing until March 14. Okay, starting from March 18, 2020, then our government declared MCO 1.0. Okay, but during MCO 1, we did good. We did good at that time, and we managed to catch attention on the world of how we handled COVID-19. However, it was not for long. End of 2020, cases increased again, and on January 13, 2021, our government declared MCO 2.0. And then in June, 1st June 2021, MCO 3.0. Okay, and still now we are in the pace of the fourth phase of MCO 3.4. But of course, there are activities that are allowed for us to involve in, and there are also some of the activities that are still limited or restricted. Okay. 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 See, actually, COVID-19. Okay, COVID-19 in Malaysia gave severe negative impact to workers and consumers in Malaysia. Okay, unemployment rate in 2019 was 3.5% at that time, but after pandemic, okay, attacked Malaysia and the whole world actually. Unemployment rate increased to 4.6%. in 2020, and in June 2021, it increased to 4.8%. And we believe that the number will kept on increasing, but we do hope that the phenomena will not be as worse as what it's expected. Okay. And during MCO1 in Malaysia, manufacturing and construction sectors were put on hold in order to control the spread of COVID-19 in Malaysia. But during MCO 2.0 and 3.0 in Malaysia, some major sectors are open. It is not because of it is safe to open the sectors, but mainly for economic reason. And in Malaysia, I believe that like many other countries, the sectors that is most affected by pandemic is tourism sector. And I believe that in Indonesia also, right? Because I know Indonesia got many attractive and interesting places to visit. But due to pandemic, maybe some, or we can say that most of the places are closed for visitors. And I'm actually a Malaysian, but I love to travel in Indonesia. And since 2011, I think almost every year I went to Indonesia to visit some of the places. But due to the pandemic, it cannot be done like that anymore. Okay, so this is overview that I can say. Okay, pandemic started in COVID in December 2019, and of course, not just Malaysia but all over the world. Okay, pandemic has impacted on economy, health, education, and technology. It has been 2 years actually, and of course, we do hope that this pandemic will come to the end. And economic recovery, actually, okay, some experts say that the soonest is in 3 years, okay, after endemic. So we are still waiting for the situation to come to the point of endemic. And I think not just Malaysia, Indonesia also might be, and other countries, okay, we are striving, okay, for economic recovery. And of course, the economic recovery will be speeding if both domestic and international efforts are made in collaborative way. Okay, so I move to the next slide. Okay, as we all know, okay, the global economy are on track, because of the strong situation or condition, but with uneven growth, as COVID-19 is still in action, or is still around us. But we are now expecting for the end of pandemic going to endemic and ready for post-pandemic. Okay, actually, yes. I have trouble here with, okay, can you still see my slide?
Yes,
Can?
yeah, we see. Yes, okay, no problem. You can continue.
Global growth expected to accelerate.
But why I cannot see my own slide?
So we waiting for the in few minutes, so because this, because this IT is different, we should be waiting first.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Henry. Okay, yes, it is true that our economic is slowly, okay, but it's slowly recovering. Okay, global growth is expected to accelerate to 5.6 this year. And then this largely because of the major economic players like United States and China. They are playing a major roles in economic recovery. And growth among emerging market also showing the good signal, accelerating at 6% this year. However, among low income economic countries, okay, where vaccination has lagged, okay, growth has been revised lower than 2.9%. Okay, this is quite sad for the low income economic. Okay. to this. Okay, we understand that all nations
You have
are
problem
striving.
for your PowerPoint?
Oh, I
You have problem?
cannot move my
You
PowerPoint.
can move. Oh.
Okay.
Reload.
Okay. Ah, okay.
Okay, it's okay.
I have to wait to push a little bit
Yeah.
harder.
Yeah, it's super hard.
Yes Kak, perlu sabar
Really
Kak.
sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so we understand that all nations are striving for economic recovery, including Malaysia actually, and Indonesia too. And talking about economic recovery, many economists believe that there are means that we can apply to accelerate post-pandemic economic recovery. Okay, what are they actually? Okay, there are some of the efforts or some of the means that we can follow according to the economists in the economists or the experts in economics. Okay, the first one is sensitive with latest business trend. Okay, this one I will focus later on. Okay, the second one is accelerate technology diffusion, including digitalization. The third one, encourage innovation and investment. The fourth one is optimization of resources, capacity and capability. And the last one is cooperation and collaboration. Okay, this one also I will focus on. So meaning that during my talk today, okay, I will focus on two mainly items, which is sensitive with latest business trends and cooperation and collaboration, because other items will be covered by my friends, Dr. Henry, as well as Dr. Osman and Dr. Professor
Imran from Turkey.
Yes.
Also, he's already joining here, so maybe you can say hello for him. Because this is still
Okay.
early morning, you know.
Okay. Hello and good morning, Prof. Imran. Okay, what about Dr. Usman? Is he in already?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Assalamualaikum, Dr. Usman. Okay, so I continue my talk. Okay. The first one, I go to sensitive with latest business trend. Okay, we have to admit that business trends have experienced changes due to the pandemic. Okay, every business needs to realize that they must be sensitive to the latest trends in order for them to survive and grow. Okay, and to accelerate technology diffusion, including digitalization. Okay, in post-pandemic, many nations, including Malaysia, need to do more with less, due to the tight budget, because we have spent a lot, during a pandemic to curb the nation from experiencing worse recession. Okay, so optimization of resources, capacity, and capability can foster a durable and inclusive recovery. Okay, what about the encourage innovation and investment? Okay, so boosting investment in research and development, okay, strengthening the financial system, particularly in capital market, and increasing public spending on education are essential for promoting innovation. Okay, this will help actually to sustain stronger economic growth for most organizations. And for cooperation and collaboration, okay, post-pandemic has led to new challenges to most businesses, okay, especially in terms of technology and ways of organizing or ways of handling the business. Of course, it is definitely true that cooperation and collaboration will help a lot for business to survive, as well as to speed up the economic recovery. Okay, this is the one that I will focus on. Okay, what are the 10 latest business trends? Okay, so here I list here 10 business trends, but actually if you read more, okay, in the journal, books, magazine, actually they will serve you more than 10 this latest business trend. But as for me, I think these 10 business trend is good for us to know and to share among us. Okay. Okay, the first one, work from home. Okay, this is not new. Okay, it has been almost 2 years for us to work from home. Okay, because COVID-19 actually have urged companies to quickly adapt operation to a remote workforce whereby management and employees do not see eye to eye that often. Okay, thus building trust between employees and employers will be very critical. Because yes, some of the employees, they are good. They can perform without a supervision from the superior. But not, we are human. Not all employees are like that. But given the maybe some explanation and building the trust between employees and employers, I believe that this can be improve. Okay, next is data as an asset. Okay, the business that leverage data can better understand their customers. We know that we can get so much data from internet. Dikatakan maklumat itu di hujung jari. So a cloud solution maybe allow to access data from everywhere, and business is much easier because we can do business anywhere, okay, including including doing business at home. But at the same time, business need to protect and secure data. Because just like they secure and protect their valuable asset. And another important thing for the business is to consider is how to boost data literacy. It is no use that if we got data, but we don't know how to read or how to make use of the data. Because actually, it is very important for us to understand the data, because much of the information about our customers can be obtained from the data. And we have to understand that now more shopping and customer services interactions are conducted online. So this also requires a lot of investment in systems that can efficiently and effectively process, analyze, and store the data streaming in the organization. Okay, the next one is business model innovation. Okay, there are lots of industry actually that were completely transformed. Okay, they did business not as they did their business before. Okay, such as the hospitality and event industry that have to react. They have to react to the changes caused by pandemic. Okay, and market and customers will be the focus for business to survive and grow. That's why when market and customers are the focus, okay, the business have to innovate to follow suit. The demands and the needs of the markets and the customers. In Malaysia, for example, new businesses mushroom despite pandemic. Okay, there are research conducted in Malaysia that despite the pandemic, actually new business are coming in. Okay, even though there are also some of the businesses collapse or have to be closed down, but due to innovation and creativity, many more business are coming in. And it is important actually for more business to innovate, to innovate and to apply the new model in order to fulfill what is being demanded by the market and customers. Okay, the next one is automation. Okay, Another top business trends nowadays is automation. Okay, organization will evaluate their business process to see where they can take out people out of their process, people that adding no value, no true value. Okay, so because more and more work has been done by machines and robots, so there will be in some sector, in some business portion, okay, there will be less human resource needed, and we will find that more and more tasks, okay, will need new skills, new skills and new competencies. Okay, however, I think there are still human elements that are needed, because automation sometimes cannot be relied 100% when human touch is needed in some of the business, in some of the business. And automation too has urged human resources to reskill or upskill themselves. Okay, because as I mentioned before, okay, more and more tasks now has been undertaken or taken over by machines or robots, but as human resource or as workers, no worry. Okay, actually there are plenty new tasks are waiting for us, provided that we are willing to reskill and upskill ourselves. Okay, next is decentralized finance. Okay, COVID-19 has created challenges for businesses that want to expand or want to restart their business. Okay, if before this, okay, we depend very much on banks, shares, and then maybe stocks, but one solution nowadays, okay, is raising capital by using crowdfunding or maybe blockchain technology and other decentralized finance option. Okay, because this will be a big trend that will allow business to acquire capital easier than through traditional channels like we did before. Of course, before this, like I mentioned, okay, business relied that much on banks, stock, shares, but new trends as such as crowdfunding, blockchain now slowly take over. Okay, business trend number 6, virtual interface. Okay, virtual interface, as companies race to find new ways of delivering service to customers, okay, that do not come to the store and do not come to our company, okay, physically. Okay, so they began to consider how to deliver some of the service in digital forms using technology such as augmented reality, virtual reality, and maybe mixed reality, the combination of the augmented and virtual. And to comply with stay-at-home orders, people would use virtual avatars. Okay, try on many of the products like makeup, eyewear, clothes, and ultimately, actually, this try before you buy with virtual interface will transform how business offer their service. Okay. Okay, the next business trend is going global to local. Okay, before this, we are very we try to be global, to be international, but pandemic now has make us back from global to local. Okay, there are a lot of reasons to begin to think more locally rather than globally. Okay, and COVID-19 actually has disrupted international supply chain and also disrupt some of the businesses, okay, because restriction on international traveling sometimes will also force, okay, some of the companies to focus more on local rather than global, okay. Okay, the next one is purposeful and meaningful. Okay, this is another business trend that relates to the latest human resource. Okay, there is trend to have more purpose and meaningful in job. Okay, because a new generation is not like the generation X or generation Y or baby boomers generation, because research revealed that younger generation that are entering workforce, they want to connect. Yeah, they want to connect and with their company. Yeah, and they want to experience meaning when working in that particular companies. And companies actually, if they don't have a clear or meaningful purpose of their existence, okay, they will struggle to attract talent and customers, because millennium generation and generation Z, okay, they are of like not really prioritize the word loyalty. Okay, there is no more word loyalty to the organization, okay, in the head of a new generation. But what they want is what they can contribute and what the company can give to them. Yeah, and next is sustainability. Okay, and before pandemic, sustainability has been a concern. Okay, the whole world are concerned about sustainability, especially on the environmental issues. Okay, we are exposed to SDG, whereby there are 17 goals to achieve, by most nations in the globe. Okay, however, now environmental sustainability join with issues of personal safety, health issues, and new norms issues. Okay, not to say that environmental issues no longer be the concern, but actually sustainability related to environmental still be the concern, but there will be health issues, safety issues, as well as new norms issues that will slot in. And the last one is social engagement. Yeah? During the pandemic, brands relied on engaging with customers and potential customers across social media. Okay, bear in mind that more shopping and customer service interaction will be online. Thus, digital transformation is not just about technology, but how technology can make business and customers getting close and interact. Yeah? So that is the business trend, the 10 business trend that I have shared with you. So looking at this business trend, okay, they have opened up a huge opportunities, okay, for new business to start, or even the existing business to grow. But this one, I won't touch on that because Dr. Henry will do it for me, okay? Because he will share with us what are the opportunities, the new business that have opportunities to start during this pandemic situation. And in most cases, okay, COVID-19 has urged business partnering, and it is vital actually to choose the right partner for the changing world. Okay, we cannot work alone. Okay, because this new scenario actually demands technology. But even though it demands technology, most of the business nation, okay, cannot work alone. Okay, there must be, we need cooperation and collaboration. Okay, during pandemic, okay, some businesses win and some businesses lose. Okay, and to keep surviving and recovering, actually, most businesses need partnership, okay, collaboration and right ecosystem. Okay, as I share with you here, okay, there is a pentahelix strategy. Pentahelix strategy, even though I put here as domestic, but if let's say we want to apply this pentahelix strategy, it can also be applied for the international strategy to boost the business internationally. Okay, economic recovery would be faster if the community can be brought together, okay, with government and the business, okay, media and academia. And each of these group actually, okay, they have their own roles, okay, and actually good government support for business, community, academic and media will produce healthy and safe ecosystem. And government and business, especially private, okay, must also support each other. Okay, and what about the media? Media has its own role whereby the media will deliver and share information, and this will benefit all people and can speed up economic recovery. And for the academic institution and academia, academic institution will train human resource with needed skills, impart knowledge and promote innovation via science and technology. And these all will speed up the economic recovery, okay, in terms of maybe economic recovery in the industry itself, nation, as well as in the global arena. Okay, these are other means that we can do, okay, under collaboration and cooperation. Okay, for example, government to government, business to business, university to university strategy, and maybe, okay, if let's say we are much more open, okay, to government plus industry plus university, collaboration or cooperation to build global organic relationship, or maybe we can involve in strategic alliances. Okay, of course, we know that these are all the strategies that have been maybe practiced before, but post-pandemic requires us, okay, to be more involved in collaboration and cooperation. Okay, and of course, SDG-based economic development, SDG-based collaboration, okay, will continue. Okay, because actually SDG goals, I would say that due to SDG goals concern, okay, many nations work together, collaborate together, okay, to boost the economy as well, to be the guardians of the earth. And at the same time, we will also collaborate and speed up, okay, the economic recovery. Okay, this one I have touched a little bit. Okay, but as the conclusion, I would like to say that, okay, no country, community, or company can address whatever crisis alone. Okay, so cooperation and collaboration is very much vital in order for us to speed up any recovery, say it or be it economic recovery, health recovery, or maybe environmental recovery. Okay, so as the conclusion, okay, COVID-19 actually has plotted new landscape in business. The way we do business is not like the way we did before anymore. And understanding the new needs and priorities of customers and how to support them virtually is very much important. That's why technology is very much important for us to grab and to master in. And of course, companies, okay, have to adapt and explore new models in business, and businesses also need to adapt and to be sensitive with the new trends, okay, around them, whether it is local or global. And I would like to also say that COVID-19 also silver lining, have the silver lining. It is not just COVID-19, just not just public health crisis, not just create public health crisis, but actually it makes us to be better able to prepare for other kinds of crises in the future. Okay, so this COVID-19 is maybe the wake-up call for us to be ready for the new trend or the new norms and the new way of doing business in the future. So yeah, that's gone all from me. And I really hope that what has been delivered can leave you a bit, if not much, I think can increase some of our knowledge that can be shared. So with that, thank you very much. Itu saja dari saya. Semoga bermanfaat. Kalau tidak banyak, mungkin sedikit dari itu. Sekian, wabillahi taufik walhidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much to Professor Khadijah. Okay, thank you very much again. That this presentation will open our mind here. Prof. Khadijah with enthusiasm explain his speech, and then we have 10 latest business friends that really open our mind in this point. Okay, for our participant, please give us your question, and then later we will open the question. Okay, before we continue, I want to confirm to our keynote speaker, Dr. Usman Aragazi, you are online now? Dr. Usman Aragazi, you are online now? Yeah.
I am online.
Yes. Dr. Usman Aragazi, welcome. Welcome
Yes.
to our webinar. Yeah, because just now I see you in your screenshot. Yeah. Okay. We continue to the second keynote speaker, Dr. Usman Aragazi. Yeah, we probably invite you to deliver your speech. Okay. As your sent to us, your speech delivered under the title the territorial action, business, government, people to caution the immense negative impact on the business and public service. This is based on the case of the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, BARMM. Yeah, okay. For Dr. Usman Aragazi, time is yours.
A'udzubillahi minasyaitonirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. First of all, I have to be apologetic because I have to join at the very start of the conference, but all of a sudden we have a blackout in the entire province, and once we do not have a electric supply, it is also affecting our internet connectivity. So very disgusting on my part, because how I wish that in the very early start of the conference is I am around. But just the same, I have to do my initiative. I have to travel almost an hour just to avail a connectivity so that I can join with this very, very important international conference. First of all, I have to acknowledge, of course, our Master of Ceremony a while ago, Ms. Herdianti, our Chairman of the Apacita, Mrs. Dentisti Omo. Allow me also to acknowledge and give my courtesy to our Ibn Sina University Rector, Dr. Haji Mostakim Suaid, a friend of mine because once upon a time we meet in Brunei Darussalam. Also, I would like to acknowledge the Dean of Faculty of Economics and Business, Dr. Sabri, the Chairman of the Committee, Chair of the Magister Management, Dr. Henry Herman, whom I collaborated from the very start of having an engagement with Ibn Sina University. Our speaker, I'm very happy that our very own sister, Dr. Khatija Omar, has to take my place as the first speaker because of that unexpected problem I encountered. Dr. Omar from Terengganu University, thank you very much for making yourself available to take the place. Otherwise, we may have a little bit delay in our activity. I would like also to acknowledge our honorable speaker from Turkey, Dr. Imran Aslan from the Bengal University, Turkey. Other officials, students, participants, of course, allow me to acknowledge our Director for Internationalization, AFR, Dr. Garcia. I presume she is also online this time. Ladies and gentlemen, my humble courtesy and allow me to extend my greetings, universal greetings of peace and a pleasant good afternoon or noon time in the Philippines because it's now past 12 o'clock. I hope the host, the management, can facilitate to share and show the outline of my slides, at least for a clear information of all the participants. Again, in behalf of our Chancellor of the University, Dr. Ansari Ali, who is an alumnus of ISTAC, the entire constituents of our university, we are extending our gratitude to the Ibn Sina University for facilitating a very important international conference like this. Let me start by briefly explaining to this conference that my mantra, the mantra of my speech, is not truly focused on business because after all, I submit with the very extensive and very exhaustive lecture of our sister, Dr. Khatija Omar, in providing us the nutrient, the update on the matter of business, not only in Malaysia, but practically the entire world. I submit, I believe all those things have shared to us by Dr. Omar is really, really very important and very relevant. Allow me to start as opined by one of the great philosophers, Plato, in his work, The Republic, that our need will be the real creator. This notion is commonly known as the necessity is the mother of invention. I think that is a very, very elementary, and I don't need to elaborate on that matter because everybody feels and realizes that we have to think out of the box. We have to create something because everything is totally crippled down and paralyzed by this pandemic. Again, can the host show my slide? while waiting for the slides, again, the mantra of my presentation is I am very interested in looking at the missing gap that we need to look into, not only in the business sector, but on the part of the government and of course the people, so that we can synchronize everything. That is why I'm very interested in presenting to you the case of the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao. How I wish I can see the slides.
Wait a minute. So this is the process to open. So how news the Philippines now?
Come again, sir. Come again, please.
So how weather the Mindanao states now?
We have a gloomy weather this time. As of this moment, we do not have the sunlight. It seems that it will be providing a very strong rain any time from now.
Yeah, so I see in the you behind like any car in there, you know. So that's why I see the you for the Mindanao car. That's why in the behind I see, you know.
I'm very sorry. I'm really sorry because I have to travel. I have to get out from our town, then travel to another town just to have an internet connectivity. I'm not. I'm just sharing with you what is a reality. That is why I'm very, very emotionally attached with my presentation because I want to share to everyone so that you can have at least a little bit understanding how we are having our lives. Okay.
Okay, it's okay, no problem. Yeah. So wait a minute. So before we continue, I want to say to call to good morning for the Mr. Imran first because this our country is different for hour earlier. That's why of course this still early morning in the Turkey. Prof. Imran, how are you? Are you hear me?
Hello, how are you? I'm fine. I hope all of you are fine. Yes, it is morning now here in Turkey due to time difference. So I want to say welcome to everybody again.
Okay, so yeah, this I have the read newspaper because this your country is weather is still is winter. You know, it's very cold in there.
Yes. I mean the winter time is come, the cold come, and as you can estimate that the COVID is increasing because with winter with the coldness, more COVID cases now here and also in Europe.
Okay, yeah. So for the information as possible, you know, so as possible, we plan to bring to our student in here to Turkey as possible, you know, and also I want to bring to Malay, you know, and Mindanao state, you know, so as possible, so we bring our student to go there together.
Yeah.
We will be happy to see you here.
Okay, so thank you. So what about the Prof. Khatijah's UIP? I bring my student in here.
Yes, of course you may.
Just of course.
Yeah. We welcome you.
Yeah, it's okay.
Anytime.
Okay. So for of our student for the Magister Management, so you hear just now because from Turkey, Mindanao, and then from Malay, they happy when we go to there for like study, you know. So please prepare for everything for you.
We have exchange programs here in Turkey. Hopefully, we will make agreements with the Ibn Sina. So there are some opportunities to come here for 1-2 semesters to study here.
Okay, that's why this is we still for the how to develop for our student for degree and magister how to develop. We go to Turkey to our student for the change student, you know. So I should be discussed with our rector first. I should be the discuss with our chairman of Yapista Ibu Chantry first. I will discuss about that, you know. So because this should be the follow the procedure first, and then I let you know.
Okay.
Okay, so we come back to Prof. Usman. So you see for your material.
Yeah. Thank you, host. Thank you, Brother Henry, for facilitating the showing of the outline of my slide. So, again, the mantra of this presentation is to look into the possible missing gaps so that the tri-actors can work together. That is why the title of this presentation is the Trilateral Actions, open and close parentheses, businesses, government, the people, at least to caution the immense negative impact on business and public service. This was exhaustively discussed by our very own sister, Dr. Katija Omar. The case of the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, because this is the place where I am located. It is my birthplace, and this is a place dominantly occupied by the Muslim Filipino people of the Republic of the Philippines. Next slide, please. Again, as I have initially explained, Plato in his work, The Republic, the need will be the real creator. And we know this notion commonly. Necessity is the mother of innovation. I think this is a very elementary phrase, a statement that is understandable to anyone. When a group of people, when a people have a necessity, then somehow he or she has to create, or she has to invent just for survival. Okay, next slide, please. Again, thank you. I'm very humbled enough to be part of this very important international conference. But as a background, let me share with you and give you some basic information with the references and the legal references of what I would be discussing. First, the Republic Act number 11054. This is a Republic Act. This is a national law of the Philippine government enacted to create the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao. Because if you look at the Philippine archipelago in the southern part, there were areas that are predominantly occupied by Muslims. And as a result of the very long revolution for self-determination, Philippine government has adopted many resolutions, many policies, and the latest one is this Republic Act 11054, creating a Bangsamoro Autonomous Region comprising of several cities and provinces, of course, dominantly occupied by the Muslims. Number two is the national government, the Philippine government, has a Department of Trade and Industry, DTI. This was created through the Presidential Decree 721, and it was made effective on June 2, 1971. As a background, if you can recall our Philippine history, this is still the time of the strongman President Marcos, who happened to be the president of our country for more than 20 years. So we can understand that still part of the operating laws in our country are in the form of presidential decrees issued by our former president. The number three is the Interagency Task Force on COVID-19. This is a national interagency task force on how to manage, how to fight, how to control the COVID-19. And that is the latest task force created by our national government, at least to squarely respond with the health crisis, the pandemic. So this is not only one agency, a lot of government agencies are represented in this national task force. And number 4 is we have the Department of Health. The Department of Health is a national government agency of our government, primarily mandated to take care of the health policies, guidelines, so on and so forth, insofar as Philippine government is concerned. So Department of Health is a part of that national interagency task force on COVID-19. And we have number 5, the Republic Act number 7160, January 1, 1972. This is the local government code of the Philippine government, because our setup in our country is that we may have national laws, we have the national government, and we have the local government. This is composed of the barangay, we call it barangay. We have the municipalities, and we have the provincial, and we have the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao. So all of these are categorized as local government. In other words, the very purpose of providing a local government is that they have somehow a degree of autonomy, a degree of independence, a little degree of delegation and decentralization of power that is being exercised by our various and different local government units. And number 6, which is not included, which I failed to include in my slide, is we have the Philippine Health Insurance Corporation. This Philippine Health Insurance Corporation is a government corporation owned and controlled by the government that will take care of the implementation of the universal health care of every Filipino. In other words, in our case this time, every single Filipino must have an access in the healthcare system of the Philippine government, and the one responsible in taking care of the payment, the expenses, is the Philippine Health Insurance Corporation. Next slide, please. Next slide. So I'm humbly presenting to you some observations that we need to make an assessment, so that at the end of the presentation we can have an idea on what are the missing gaps that has to be addressed, that we need to do, so that in times of a global pandemic or global health crisis, at least we have a synchronized approach. It's true, number 1, as exhaustively discussed and explained by Dr. Omar, business, regardless of its nature, were affected. Whether it is a small business, a big business, whether it is a business with IT driven operation, whatever kind of business have been affected by this coming of the global crisis because of this COVID-19 pandemic. So again, it is very relative and very relevant. I subscribe and I support with all the suggestions and conclusion of Dr. Omar on how to thrive, how to improve a business. There is a need for the business group to revisit their business plan, change the strategy, including marketing, including selling, including advertisement, including human resources. Everything have to be addressed by the business owner or business operator. And number 2 is some basic government services were slowed down, if not temporarily stopped. I think this is common. Based on our experiences, the problem has been so immense, it's so much affected everyone, because we do not have a synchronized approach and strategy on how to caution and how to address this, because even basic government services to the people has been affected. and slow down, if not temporarily stop. In other words, there were basic services of the government were slowed down or even temporarily stopped because of the pandemic. And I think partly it was also touched and explained by Dr. Omar. In our case, in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region, the people suffered so much because almost everything is paralyzed. Because when the national government have declared the lockdowns without considering, without looking at the serious effects, the implementers of the law immediately do the lockdown. And you try to think of what is the situation in a place that is being locked down, because we need to categorize. People involved in delivering basic services should not be affected, but the problem is we do not have a clear guidelines. So much more that later on I'll be discussing. There were no prepared, there were no crafted rules of engagement and guidelines. Then every local government immediately implemented the lockdowns and the restrictions, and everything is affected. But everything is affected, but very affected so much is the delivery of basic services. That is why the very mantra of my presentation is to stir in the minds of everyone that there is a need to revisit everything, and there is a need to build that collaborations, through bonding and cooperation between and among the tri-actors as I have identified. Number 3, basic education services. Again, as explained, not only basic education, but including tertiary, postgraduate, everything is so much affected. But the very serious one is the basic services. As of this time, we still do not have a face-to-face classes. We have very poor internet connectivity. Everything has to be started preparing a module that is suitable for the online classes. But having that, we cannot expect that our students having an access to gadget or having an access to internet connectivity, so everything is useless. No amount of pushing to continue basic education, delivering basic education, it was so much affected. You can just imagine. Again, until this time, although you heard in the news that we've been adapting a flexible learning, online learning, whatever modalities, whatever ways of delivering education, but I tell you, nothing is not so perfect. I cannot even, in a scale of 1 to 10, I would only give, wherein 1 is the lowest and 10 is the highest, I would only give 3. That is my assessment. Okay, next slide, please.
Next slide.
And we have the people health condition and services. As I have mentioned, you can just imagine for a period of almost 2 years, restricting the mobility, the movement of the people. What will happen? A lot of ailments, a lot of diseases, a lot of problems were encountered inside the house. Because you can just imagine when no one is allowed to get out of the house, no one is allowed to travel, everything is restricted, and family, every individual were confined at home. You can just imagine what will happen. Remember, part of the development, part of the good health condition of the people is your mobility. You can travel around, you can have some engagement, you can attend a meeting outside. And when the time comes that everything is restricted, what happened? The result is that all the personal ailments or diseases of the people came out. And the problem is you cannot easily bring a member of your family to the hospital. You cannot just simply bring to the hospital, because what happened to our area is that we have that fear. Because accordingly, the moment you bring your family, your wife, your son, or your daughter to your hospital, the hospital will declare as COVID infected. And when your family is declared COVID infected, you are not allowed to see, to talk, and to sleep with. And time comes that in case of death, you cannot even see, you cannot even handle. Everything has to be buried immediately. So therefore, people have that idea that we should not bring our patient, we should not bring our family members who are sick to the hospital because of that problem. Why? Because there is no clear rules of engagement, and there is no clear relationship with all these actors in implementing the regulation in fight against the COVID. Number 5 is public people mobility were strictly and indiscriminately limited or regulated. This is what I am explaining, because in the first place, it was an indiscriminate restriction of the movement. There was no clear guidelines by exempting, by allowing the mobility of transfer of logistics, the food carriers, the transfer of a very indispensable supplies to the people, everything. All of a sudden, it was restricted, it was regulated, and the absence of a guideline on that make the situation very hard. And remember, when you are restricting the mobility of the people, it's not only the people, but practically economy is also being restricted, and it is a doom to be on the part of the economy. Because there is no transfer of goods, there is no business, everything has to collapse because of that guidelines. And number 6, again, very, very frustrating, because even the transportation sectors, which is a very, very indispensable group in economic activities, were also indiscriminately disrupted. You can just imagine, for a period of 1 year, no very limited transportation, even the transportation of food supplies, everything, and the need to bring your relatives to an hospital, nearby hospital, it was all of a sudden restricted. So you can just imagine what would be the condition, the health condition of our people. Anyway, these are just partial observation that I am sharing with you, because again, the mantra of my presentation is to steer the mind of the not only the private, the government, the business, that there is a need to strengthen their collaboration and revisit the rules of engagement, so that in case of another global health crisis, we can address it. Next slide, please. Again, these are my humble way of presenting some possible missing gaps in what I have discussed. The government is a little bit late in its control action against the COVID-19. I can still recall as early as January of 2020, European countries have also, including America, have also declared to the world that we have this COVID-19 that is a very unique kind of virus, and it's hard to be stopped and to be restricted. But in our case, we started. It was only on March that our government seriously take a look in controlling this virus. So in other words, January, February, March, I think that is a little bit late on the part of the government. And when the national government started controlling everything, in placing all the restrictions, but we have already people coming from the outside who are already infected and bringing to our country, into our country, the virus. So how can you simply start? How can you simply diagnose people? How can you simply identify who are these people having been infected by the virus? When for a period of almost 3 months, the government is not seriously taking into consideration the coming in of the virus. So again, the missing gap is that our government should have very proactive in looking at those possibilities so that immediately in our borders we can do some precautionary measure. Okay, next. Health specialists, epidemiologists, and other experts in addressing public health crisis were not exactly tapped or task forces, committees, other bodies created to holistically address the crisis. Because you've been reading in the international newspapers or dailies that, well, we have the IET, the National Interagency Task Force, but not headed by an expert in public health crisis. But most of these people leading this task force are not expert in epidemiology or health crisis, because to share with you, part of the critics is that this is being led by people coming from the military and the Philippine National Police. So again, people are questioning, again, as explained by Dr. Omar, there is the absence of a strong mutual trust between the implementer and the people. And that is why very slow we can get the cooperation of the people, because people heading or being assigned and in charge in the task force on fighting COVID are people not having enough exposure in the global pandemic or in a health crisis. So it's a little bit frustrating on the part of the people. Next slide. Then we have the absence of general and specific guidelines on managing the situation about the economic activities and other activities during national or global health crisis in almost all government and private agencies or organizations. In other words, it may be a common situation. Everybody is caught red-handed. Our government offices and even private sectors, business organizations, we were caught red-handed. In other words, the coming of the pandemic is we are not prepared. In fact, if you try to look at every business plans, every business operation, there is the absence of a clear guidelines on how to address, how to manage in case we have this kind of situation. So again, as explained, that is why we have to revisit, we have to look at, we have to adapt some new strategy and technology so that we can thrive and we can have a business recovery. So again, it's not only the business sector, the private sector, but including government agencies are not prepared for this kind of global pandemic or global health crisis. Next. We have a deficient coordination and collaboration between the national government and the local government units and the people during national or global health crisis. Again, there is the lacking or absence of a strong and honest collaboration between the government, the local government unit, as I have explained, and of course the people. Remember, to have a very successful way of controlling or addressing a national crisis, we have to identify some very, very important stakeholders or players in a situation. Then we have to establish, we have to build a guidelines, rules of engagement, and we have to have a mutual consultation before implementing such guidelines or policies or even laws that will be affecting everyone. So in the absence of that very close coordination, I think that is the missing gap. That is why we have a very a serious negative impact of this health crisis, because everyone, every office, everything is not ready. Remember, including our infra, including our buildings, are not designed to at least designed to be modified immediately in case of a global crisis or pandemic. You can just imagine putting a hand wash or putting all these amenities that somehow help controlling the virus. Took a lot of time before these were in place in all buildings for public offices and for where the people are coming in and going in. Okay, next. We have a very weak and deficient infusion of information technology in some important processes between and among the stakeholders in fighting the COVID-19. Again, I submit that the presence of the technology that we have now, invading almost everything, controlling almost everything. In fact, other countries, as they explained, they are now talking of artificial intelligence. But in our case, in our situation, we still need a lot of time for the coming in and for the putting up infusion of this technology in all our processes so that we can have a real time. In other words, there is no way of we lack the technology that will somehow easily identify for the health workers who are these people to be subjected for quarantine and who are these people not to be subjected for quarantine, so on and everything. So in other words, there is a manual way of addressing these problems. And remember, having many number of population, you cannot just easily do it manually because we have a restricted mobility that time. So almost all offices of the government are serving on a skeleton process, a skeletal or skeleton process in delivering the services because of the restriction. But if we have a very strong technology that can somehow identify who are these people, to be immediately provided with a vaccination so that they can serve a great number of people, then that will solve the problem. That will at least lessen the problem. Next. Again, I'm very humble enough to have this very few recommendation, formulation of synchronized guidelines and rules of engagement between and among the trilateral actors. I'm talking of the government, the local government, the business, and the people during national or global health crisis. In other words, it is now timely. I'm humbly urging that there is a need to have a convergence between the business and the government and the people, at least to anticipate and be proactive in addressing another global crisis. So we have to put everything. We have to formulate, craft, prepare guidelines that in case of something like this, these are the guidelines so that we can easily address the problem. Number 2 recommendations: business sectors, organization should revisit their business plans and programs, adapt new and customized strategies, human resources, including selling, marketing, production, and during a global crisis. In other words, as explained properly and very clearly, business sectors have to revisit their business plans, train the people, retooling the people, retraining the people, infusion of technology, try to customize if a production can be done at home, why not? So that you can minimize the expenses, how to strengthen the knowledge of the human resources and the technology to do engage in the social media marketing, everything. And they should not forget to infuse some guidelines in case of a global crisis. And we have number 3, please. Very important key players in every crisis, in every situation, is the people organization or the civic organization. Remember, not only in the Philippines, in Indonesia, in Philippines and other countries, our government is accrediting people's organization. So it's now high time that this organization should be involved, should be capacitated, and should be tapped, should be engaged by the government and the business sectors insofar as global crisis is concerned. In other words, we have to look at people's organization, private organization, a very, very potential partners in addressing a global crisis. In other words, our Philippine government is now undertaking a massive vaccination, and that cannot be done alone by our health workers because we have a very limited health workers. So therefore, we need to engage the services of private organizations, people's organization who can be trained, who can be tapped, who can be retooled so that they can be a partner in undertaking this nationwide vaccination of our people, if only to achieve a herd immunity. And number 4 is that local government unit as a very indispensable, responsible implementers of the laws, guidelines, and rules of engagement with the stakeholders. Because as I have explained to you, if we have national laws enacted in the central government, in the national government, it has to be downloaded to the local government unit, and the local government unit is the one responsible in directly implementing these laws, these rules to the people. And remember, if a local government unit, a national government unit have no synchronized understanding on the guidelines, on the policies, the way on how to implement, how to handle the situation, then we have a very, very chaotic and very problematic way of implementing rules and guidelines in fighting the COVID, or at least reducing the negative impact of this crisis. So again, there is a need on the part of the local government unit to revisit their ordinances, their laws, respective laws, policies, because under our laws, a local government unit have that sense of autonomy in formulating their ordinances that will be implemented to the people. Again, next slide, please. Again, I'm very, very thankful, and I'm very, very humble enough to be part of this very important international conference. Again, the host, the Ibn Sina University, the participant, our speakers, Brother Imran Aslan from Turkey, Dr. Omar, other officials in behalf of our university, the Mindanao State University. We are very thankful, and we are extending to you our gratitude. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Dr. Usman Daragasi. Yeah, let's deliver your speech. Yeah, we give applause to the Dr. Usman together. Yeah. And ladies and gentlemen, we go to the third speech. We go to the next keynote speaker that will be delivered by Dr. Imran Islan from Bengal University. Okay,
Hello?
before that, I want to confirm, Dr. Imran, you are in the Zoom now still?
Yeah, I'm in Zoom. Can you see me?
Okay. Yes, I can hear you. Yeah. Okay. Before Dr. Imran Aslan deliver his speech, I would like to read the title of the material: New Business and Educational Style During the COVID-19, Human Resource Trend, and in the Pandemic and Well-being. Okay. Dr. Imran Islan, time is
Hello. I want to say hello everybody
Yeah.
from Turkey, and I want to thank you for giving me this chance to make a presentation in this international conference. I shared my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen now.
Okay. So I am from Turkey, and my university is in east of Turkey, close to Iran and Armenia. So I am not from Istanbul because everybody knows Istanbul. When I ask something about Turkey, first they tell me Istanbul, but I live in Istanbul about 20 years. And my background is engineering, business administration, and healthcare. So before I studied healthcare, then I studied engineering, and then I did my PhD in business administration. Currently, I work at the healthcare management department. So you can see, and I want to say that the COVID has changed the life, not just life of one people or one country, but they changed the life of everybody. And the things it is still going on. And the problem is that still, when will the COVID finish? And the uncertainty. But my opinion is that this COVID effects can be minimized with the vaccinations. As I see in many countries, the rate of vaccinations are low, and unfortunately, there are some mutations that one come from South Africa, and now there are some cases in Europe. So as my other speakers talked about the global collaboration. So I think to overcome this, the pandemic is the best way is to make vaccinations. And as we know that the global economy, we have just not a local or country wide problems, but we have a global problem around the world, because the things are changed and restriction and the main problem is the lockdowns, staying at home, and they have effects on the economy, and also the increasing COVID the cases make burdens on the healthcare system. So the problem is that the around the world, some countries they cannot get essential foods, and there are some lackness about the healthcare things that they necessary that for their healthcare system. So we are in a crisis, and this is just not a problem. This is the global problem, and the another thing is that in the Glasgow they mentioned about sustainability, but the climate change is another top issue now. Maybe after if we finish the COVID, the focus will change again on the climate change, because especially, maybe I don't know how is in your countries, but we have a drought problems. Last 2 years, especially last year, we have droughts, and we had less rain. And the industry and the business, they need the farming and the animal things products to make new products or for the life. and we have a drought in the Mediterranean countries, not just in Turkey. I can say in Spain, in Italy, in these middle regions, we have a drought now. And hopefully this year we will get more rain. As I know, there is a lot of rains in Indonesia or in the Far East. So the problem is that the global debt increased around the world, because during the COVID, many countries, they need money to support their people, and this global debt now slowly they try to the governments, because they need to pay these debts, and they get these debts from the banks or some financial institutions. And I don't know how the situation in Indonesia, but there is a increase in inflations in Europe, about 6% inflation increase in Europe, and in Turkey I can say more. That means the things becomes more expensive, and for the people to buy their basic needs becomes more difficult. And and another problem is that the investment trades and they have decreased. I mean, almost, and that caused unemployment, especially many young people, new graduated people. They cannot find a job. That affects the business very deeply. And I want to give the focus, especially from the study carried out, that these micro, small, medium-sized enterprises, they have more vulnerability to this crisis, because they have low financial power, and about 95% of the business and the employment opportunities, they are coming from these small, medium-sized enterprises. And I will try to mention a little about that one. Also, in my presentation, I will mention the change in education. Then I will mention to these new abilities, what is things that. So the findings from the business impact survey, that 1 in 5 small firms may go bankruptcy within 3 months. So they did this survey at the beginning, so the special care should be given to these small firms. And as my friends, they mentioned about travel and the tourism restrictions, and they affect most of sectors, because many sectors, they support the tourism and travel. And when there are less tourists, or when less traveling, that means they have difficulties in earning the money, and there is an increasing demand for the mask, gloves, and disinfectants, and there are already hard growth. So the change in education. So as we mentioned, that we have a uncertainty, and we have some short-term financial risk, and as everybody knows that this financial burden will have long-term effects on the government. I said the debts now become problem, because many countries need to pay debts, and they increase the tax and the other earning ways of money for the governments. So the another things that many business, they try to reorganize their business style from they become more online. So the e-commerce and the other ways of by using the social media, they try to sell their products by using social media like WhatsApp, Instagram, and Facebook. So the business change, and so the things is that for the government, for every country, that they should reduce layoffs, and prevent bankruptcies, and encourage investment to make more work opportunities. As we know that there's the global economy is decreasing, and the government should protect their people. So one of most important, reducing the layoffs. And the firms need to organize themselves. Many firms, especially the small firms, they how can I say that they don't have digital capabilities. even some of them, they don't know how to use the computer, or they don't have a computers, or they are not ready to be for this new business model. And as we know, in many countries, as in Turkey, people they try to go out less, or they restrict their movements. So they prefer to make instead of going a restaurant, they give the order to the restaurant, and they get their order from their restaurant to their home. But so there is some change, and so the things are that the domestically, as I said, the global economy decreased, and this is the more domestically they do this kind of things. And the another things that they need financial support, especially as I told you, some governments, they have their people to sustain their business on to prevent high unemployment. So there is a need for bank supports, and they should be some consultancy should be given these small firms, because they need money to sustain their business. Otherwise, they may go to bankruptcy. As I know, many small size firms, they already went bankruptcy. And so the things, as I told you, the COVID changed everything, and with this change, we need to the many countries, they learned countries learned to and import lessons in early days of the pandemic, as they rushed to strengthen their small enterprises. And it is become clear that fostering business resilience in good times would help firms to reduce ride out the crisis, reduce the likelihood of bankruptcy, and improve the state of economy. Because the things have changed, and these COVID times can be a kind of lesson for everybody, not just for the small business, just for the governments, because we don't know, maybe in the future there'll be more outbreaks like that one, and there can be more crisis because in the around the world. So it's a kind of lessons. I mean, we don't like it, we don't want it, but what is it? It is unavoidable. I mean, because and digital. I mean, what we have learned that these things. There's some now new ways. I mean, teleworking. So the people, they start to work from home. I mean, many firms, they send their workers, and they start to work from the home. And this is a new way of working. I mean, it was before, but not like that one, as high like that one. And the remote learning, as I know that in many countries, they still prefer remote learning. And that I will mention later that one, how, because we did a study about remote learning, and there's some advantages and disadvantages. Teleconference, online health service. This is another very hot topic, that the online health services, they have increased a lot. I mean, instead of going to a doctor, especially if it is not necessary, they use the digital technologies. I mean, connection between patients and the doctor, and they get their service at home, or by using their phone. And some medicines or treatment methods are applied remotely, like eyes control, teeth control, tissue controls. So there is a lot of now slowly investment on that side, and the cost of health system, I think it will decrease dramatically if the online health services increases, and e-commerce and digital payments, especially because the many regions that it was started before, but now it is more, and it is preferred more now. And the another problem is during the COVID, that the economically disadvantaged people, informal sector workers, migrants, and people in micro enterprise, they need special focus, because I mean, the government, they support the people who are the citizens of country, but as I know, in Turkey there are 5 million Syrian refugees. And some of they are illegal. I mean, even they don't have any citizenship, any card. and we don't know whether they carry any illness or whether they have a COVID or not. On the so these have become problem, and there are a lot of migration from from low developed countries, like from Africa, from Pakistan, from Iran, Afghanistan to Turkey and the Europe. So we have a huge immigration problems, and this is there should be some new system to have this kind of workers, and they work in the. I mean, they work as a cheap workforces in many industries now. And as I told you, it's a problem, because if we wanted to finish the COVID, we should know these people, and we should vaccinate these people. We should support them economically and make some solution for this kind of things. And sustainability, as I told you, we have a big problem in Turkey about the climate change, and at the same time in Europe and the United States and in Canada, there are especially last summer, we have seen the long-term effect of the climate change on the people, because there are a lot of fires. Many forests they were burned, and so the things with the COVID, we need to change. We need to focus also on the climate change. We need to change our business style, especially from the production side. That we should make a production environmental friendly, and the investment should be done more on protecting the environment. As I follow the European Union and the countries in Europe, especially Germany and some other countries, they did a lot of investments. I mean, they changed their business style, and they make a long-term investment plans to prevent global emissions. I mean, they more expensive maybe now, because they will change their industry from oil to electricity or renewable energy. I mean, sun energy or the other sectors. And this new investment will create lots of work opportunities for these countries. And so the countries, I think, should just change their focus, need to change. I don't know about the situation in Indonesia or in the Far East, but the new trend is to make business environmental friendly, and educate people. I mean, support the industry, especially by university, with this new business. The governments of the new normal, as I told, we have in Philippines. I heard they have a supply chain problems, and so the collaboration is necessary, and the cost should be splitted, because the people, especially the small suppliers, they need support, and the government. Another problem issue is the trust between governments and their people, because they need to support each other. These things will not be managed alone just by governments. Also, the people should support the governments, and the government should support their people. So there should be more transparency and the support and standards and regulations for the new normal. As we know, the business is changed, and as I told you now, the Europe, they changed their business styles, so they need environmental friendly products. They need they want that the children don't work in this kind of production, so they make new regulations, new rules, and probably in 1-2 years these new rules will be applied to the global economy. And we need multilateralism, that these things for the economy, for the technology, environmental and trade, we need the global collaboration. And as we see, the problem is that now we have a COVID. Some countries are very successful in managing the COVID, and some countries they have low level of vaccination. They don't have healthcare products and things to support to manage their outbreak. So we need. I mean, this problem cannot be solved just by one country, and we should understand, if we want to overcome this problem, we should care the Philippines, we should care the Africa, we should care the Malaysia. And because as you say now, the Europe is in a big panic, because there is a new variant of the COVID from South Africa, and people South Africa, they traveled Europe, and now there is some cases of new Omicron variant in Europe. You see, but the African, there is a very low rate of vaccination in African countries, and now in Europe they try to make new. I don't know whether they will do it. I'm not sure, but there can be some new lockdowns due to this danger came from the South Africa, and we should increase the resilience. I mean, the small firms and the people, maybe they should understand that they cannot earn as much money as before, but they should sustain their economical activities, and they should wait for the next steps. So this is especially for small size in the rural areas and also in urban areas. They need to diversify their sales. As I told you, they should focus on the new ways of making the business, like bringing products to the homes or selling their products from the local places, and they can sell these products to the cities by cargo service. So they should learn it. I mean, and maybe the governments can help this kind of small firms or local firms, or this in rural areas people. They need some kind of education, and their ability should be increased to sustain their activities, and the things that assisting small business to review and adjust cash flow forecast during the shutdowns, as well communicate with staff, banks, suppliers, and customers on changes in payment terms and on other necessary adjustments. So maybe they should learn how to use the online banking, mobile banking, and control their activities, online activities. This can be support from, and especially I told you that many graduates they need work. They want to go into life, and so there's some new opportunities should be created for young entrepreneurs, new graduates, or people unemployed. There should be some supports, maybe by universities, by governments, or by other organizations, and they should find a job, because as the time increase, as I told you, their mental problems increases, and the young people, they are not really strong to these new cases. The unemployment is a big problem. And the strengthening alliance among agricultural participants in supply chains to improve resilience, including creation opportunity and add value to that for the farmers. I mean, the farmers should be supported. As I told you, the food chain and supply chain change, and as the prices increases, we see the importance of these farmers more. And the digitalization should be done. So some new solution, maybe programs or education classes can be given to the people who cannot use these systems. Maybe some support should be given by government to subscribe these people into this digital system, because now they make new ads or new programs, and the people they use it to make the orders or to make payments or buying. When I come to the new education style, I mean, we are all familiar with these new styles. And we know with the COVID pandemic has changed the education forever. So the question is that whether we will go online or we will go back to the face-to-face education. But the things that the articles, other things there says that and studies project says that there will be a hybrid system of education. So the education will be partly face-to-face and will be partly by using this digital technology like MS Teams, Zooms, Google Chrome, and some university they already designed their information systems to give further education. So the thing is that whether the question is will be like that one, whether the face-to-face education is good or whether is the online education. From my experience in my university, I see that the online education is really not effective on learning, and that's why we started face-to-face education now. Even the cases are high, like 24,000 or about 30,000 cases per day. So they prefer to have face-to-face education. And the last 4 months, we have given the face-to-face education. We give some classes online still, but as I told you, according to our evaluation, the online teaching is not effective. I mean, the students' learning decreases, and some as my friends told that there's some opportunities on the digital platform. So one of the companies from the Singapore, they make a tool to meet these needs, and the teachers and the students, they have unlimited video conferencing time, auto translation capabilities, real-time co-editing of project, and smart calendars suggest. So this is something new besides Zoom and MS Teams that is developed by Singapore collaborations, and Alibaba. This is not also not very much used in Turkey, but they have a large-scale remote work. I mean, and the platform, they have a cloud to deploy more than 100,000 new cloud servers, and they want to help the new business online systems. And as I told you, that the education will change, the business will change, and when with this change will be an integrated education. Maybe after the COVID, we still don't know, but we will see. So, but we see that the business change, the education system change. There is new business, but as a university teacher, as a people, we need to make we need to educate our students. I mean, this from every college students how to with new skills. So they should learn how to use the time, because now they should make the schedules, activities, and they have meals, regular meals, when to study, when to meet. They should make it efficiently, and because the social media is a problem now. I know that many students, they go home and they play the games, or they use the social media, and they don't study, and they come to the class without sleep. So the time management is a problem among students, and as a teacher, we should teach them how to use the time to the students. We should give the classes as a part of human resource classes or other classes, but it's a problem now. And not just, I think, in the students, as a teacher, or maybe in the business, I see many people, they use too much digital tools like the phone, social media, and stress management. I mean, there are a lot of uncertainties. I mean, the people, they are in panic, and this uncertainty make more anger. I mean, more fear, and that means more stress. And as everybody know, more stress can. I will mention that from our project, that many people who overstress, they have anxiety, depression, and mental problems, and especially the young one. I mean, the young students and young people, they have more mental problems from our project. We did this project in 15 countries, and we see that there is a huge problem among the young people. I mean, maybe the older people, they have some savings, they have more experience, but this mental problem. So we start to give the psychological support to our university students now, and study skills. I mean, how they need to because the thing changed. They use more e-tools like ebook or notes from the Google or PDF, and how to improve, how to study. I mean, how to make examples. For example, I give some the statistic classes, and students, they read it, but statistics they cannot learn it by reading. So they should they should change their study skills, or how the best skill is the best one for learning, whether using the online pen or using the hand pen, or making examples or readings. So and the money management, as the hard times, how to balance their savings and payments. And as I told you, now there are a lot of things online, and I know from that many people, they do lots of online buying, and that means that they spend more, because when they go to on the mail, they say an ads, and they buy a shoes and a clothes. Maybe their budget is not enough, and for their life they need the money, because they need money for their eating, for their education, for other kind of activities. So we should teach the students how to manage the money, how to use the effective money, the effective. I know some people, they spend a lot of money by online by online buying in one day, because they cannot stop themselves. And then how to people, because the communication decreased among the people, and so they should speak for yourself in a certain manner, that how to talk to the public people, and how to communicate when they go out or in the online platforms, or how to communicate in this Zoom or MS Teams. So they should improve their skills, because especially in online platforms, they lose these skills. In face-to-face education, they have the better chance to speak up, but in online, these abilities can decrease, and they need to well-developed self-care skills, like develop bedtimes based on physical need and health, educate sleep, and healthy diet to improve their mood, their physical and their class performance. And they need to learn how to fight with stress. I mean, maybe they need exercise, good hygiene, and maybe some other things, meditation. But they need to improve their self-care skills, keeping sane and avoiding risky behaviors. This is another problem, because now in online platform, especially the gaming. I mean, this gaming and coin and this. A lot of activities of students I have seen, and this gaming can be dangerous for students. So there are also other kind of danger in the internet platforms. But what among all students now, this Bitcoin, they follow all these coins, and they buy and sell the coins, and sometimes they lose all of the money. Other kind of the gaming is also a problem. And the another one is that the gaming problem. So they should care their well-being, especially the students. And the another thing is that they should seek the assistance when needed. I mean, if they have a problem, they should ask for the maybe psychological support, or they may need support from their family, from their friends. And we should teach them when there is this kind of problems. They should get the support when there is a change in their mood or in mental problems. So we should teach them in the schools, and we should teach them the respecting the rules and policies, because as the things in online platform and in the real life, they are different, and all students should respect the rules, because some students, they don't carry the mask, even it is obligatory. In my class, they don't carry, but I cannot make too much pressure on them then, because we have discussion problems. But we should teach them that they should respect the rules, the policies, because they are for us. I mean, and displaying the honesty, integrity, and the preference, because we should respect the personal values, ethics, and other people. As I told you, if you don't carry the mask, maybe some other people will be infected, and maybe some other people will die. So we shouldn't be selfish, because as the digital technology increase the selfishness, we should change this way. So the things is the skills change, as we see in 2015 and in 2000 things. When we look at the skills change, that we should teach our students that they how to solve the problems. I mean, because just the problems, not COVID, in the life, in the business, they have this kind of problems, and we should learn to solve this. Should teach them to be creative and solving this problem, and we should teach our students that they how to make the coordination with others. And as this was very important in 2015, but now the second one is 2020: critical thinking, creativity, people management, coordination with others, emotional intelligence, judgment and decision making, service orientation, and negotiation, and cognitive flexibility. As we see that the place of abilities is changing. I mean, we should change the way of the people, the students and the people change, because when there is a problem, if the people they make fear and they don't focus on the problem solving, that means more stress. I mean, that means more stress. And then we should ask, or as educators at universities, at the business classes, how to we can our students more creative, more problem solving oriented people. And when they go live, then they will have less problems in these things, because and this one is the from the studies that's that the top 10 skills needed in 2025, that's the analytical thinking and innovation, and the active learning and learning strategies have to be active, just not at university. They should learn during their life. Even they graduated, they should continue their learning, because the things change. As I told you, some people who don't know how to use these mobile technologies, but now it is necessary for their business, for their life, and complex problem solving. So we should give some classes how to make the students to solve the complex problems, like the mathematical classes, or this is logical classes to develop their brain. Critical thinking, creativity, leadership, technology use, and the technology designs, resilience and stress tolerance, as you see. But the resilience, stress and tolerance and flexibility is a skill. I mean, we should teach the people, the students, how to be resilient as a personal, how to manage the stress, and have to prevent mental problems, reasoning and problem solving. And they should understand if there is something is a problem in every kind of life, they should search about the reason and find solution for this problem. I mean, the COVID is a problem, but there are also some solutions. I mean, like the vaccination, social distance, and I think after the COVID, hopefully the business will come to back. So they need these skills for their life. This is from a long survey carried out by World Economic Forum, and they found that this is the top 10 skills that is required for the people. And as I told you, that this resilience and stress and tolerance is a kind of new skill. So the well-being is well-being is a part of well-being is important, as I told you, especially during the COVID and during the hard time. So we should know that the real health should be physically, mentally, and socially well-being, because the mental problems is also as a part of the health. And when the people they are mentally are not good, they cannot be successful at school, they cannot be successful during the business, and we should prevent these mental problems. As we see in the last 2 years, that the stress is a very big threat to the human, to the students, to everybody due to this COVID uncertainty. And as we know, the stress is something is necessary for the body. I mean, the stress is not something bad, but when it is excessive, it is bad. And when the stress is managed beneficially, it can be beneficial for the health. But stress is not managed, can the theory says we need stress in our life. So up to a level, stress is beneficial. But when the stress pass the border, as you see, there is a level. When they pass this level, and when the stress is permanent, then some problems, mental problems like burnout, depression, anxiety, panic increase. So we should teach the students how to manage their stress, how to make stress, but not always, and how to overcome the problems. So there should be an optimum stress, beneficial stress level for the people, for the students. And when they pass this border, so what will happen? What they should do, and they should be taught at classes. So because there is problems like the anxiety and depression when there is too much stress, just not for everybody, I think is the problem. And when then after this anxiety, maybe there can be depression, like the feeling of sadness, loss of the interest in activities, don't study, don't want to go out, don't do business, and have seeing everything black. So the mental problems, especially for the students, because they stay too much at home, and for people, they also the same. When they stay too much at home, when they don't make the activities, when they don't socialize, their mental problems increase. So we did a study in Turkey to our students in the Bingöl University. I will mention it shortly how these lockdowns and staying at home affected all the students' problems. So especially the young adults are the most vulnerable group with regard to the duration of mental problems. So the young people, they have more problems, mental problems, when we compare the other age groups. And the main problem is high stress. So we did this survey at our university, in Bingöl University, and we do use the stress test, and we had some participants from other universities, but the main participants are from the Bingöl University. So we measured their life satisfaction, stress, and the other things with these surveys. And if you want to the details, I can give you the article so you can read it. But the teaching in digital way, I mean, there is a adoption problems, because many students they have a problem of not reaching the internet. They don't have the computers. So that was a problem among the students, that the educator should think about it. And dissatisfaction, that students they have a dissatisfaction of staying at homes, and this kind of things a problem for the students, because they don't know how to use this technology, especially at the beginning. Now they are better, and they especially adherence. I mean, when they see some people they obey the rules, and when they see some people they don't obey the rules, and there's another problems that create among the people, because they can get the news from the social media quickly. When they see some people they don't obey the rules, that can create stress over students. And so I will give quickly this part, because so what I will come to this the results of our study shortly. I will mention that the students, they have a high stress level, our students in 2020, and they have some level of anxiety, low level of life satisfaction, and they have impact of the COVID on their life, because they are afraid of the semester and graduation. And another things now for the young people, especially, that job search and professional development, and they when they see that the work opportunities decreases, it creates more stress and more panic on young people. And the financial situation, they are worried a lot about their financial situation. Maybe some of the family members, they lost the job. So, and the relationship with the loved ones, family, as they decreased, and the relationship with the college. This is the effects of the COVID on the people. And what we have seen that the people, they are not active. I mean, they decrease their physical activity because of the fear of being infected, and or because of the close lockdowns. And we found that about 50% of all students, they have anxiety, a kind of anxiety, and about 60% not high level depression, but a kind of depression. And we see high satisfaction, just about 20% of students, they have high life satisfaction, and the low is about 56% of the students, they have low satisfaction from our study. And the physical activity, I think, is a main problem of these mental problems. So when they have more activities, when they go out more, so they have less stress. We can say it from our study. And the job loss, as I told you, is a big panic among the people when their family members, or especially some students, they need money from their part-time works, and when they cannot earn this money, this is another kind of stress for the students. Low satisfaction, when the people, they have low satisfaction, that means they are vulnerable, they can have more stress or more mental problems. And especially another important thing we found from our study, that the female students, they have higher stress. I mean, when we compare with the male, the females, they have higher stress. So we see the correlation, as I said, the more satisfied people, they have less stress, and they have higher well-being, and they have less anxiety or depression. So we don't need we can improve the satisfaction of people with other ways. Maybe they need to change their life habits, or maybe we need to change the education things, because when the student, they stay always in front of the PC and they get the online classes, probably they will bore it, and then they can have more stress. I mean, some people, they support, okay, they can do it online education forever, I don't know. But from our survey results show that in education, always online education, I mean, can create some problems, and as some other concerns of stress, as we found among students, religion reason, that the end of everything is coming, not believing the COVID, not believing the numbers, and these other things like the biological weapon and other kind of things are source of stress among our students, we found from our project. And as I told you, the mutation of the virus is another kind of panic. So we think we can suggest that we need to give support to students, especially from university, physiological supports, counseling service. We need to give the students because they have some, they can have some mental problems. Social supports can be given, especially to decrease their mental problems. Like BAWA, they did this study in Germany, and they try to find some way how to socially support students, maybe by online activities, maybe by doing distance activities, or like going out but not giving a social distance, or doing some kind of sports. And the infodemic, we have a problem of infodemic, because lots of information and they are disseminated over social media, but a lot of them are not right, and they create panic, fear over the people. So we should, universities or government should, they have to fight the infodemic. They should find the how to filter, maybe, or not filter, I don't know, but the infodemic is a problem. I mean, the misinformation or over abundance of the information is a problem. We need to stay active. We should work out. We should think positive that the COVID will finish and we will come to back to the normal life. And enough sleep is important. Meditation, maybe eating healthy foods or diet, avoiding alcohol, avoiding caffeine. I mean, maybe some caffeine, but not too much caffeine, can be quitting smoking, and this kind of can be solution. So when I say from as we see the business change, the education change, and university need to change themselves. They need to adapt themselves. How to to react this change, because when the thing change, we need to change ourselves to so business support for organization to support small business and improve their abilities to stay resilient is important. We shouldn't, maybe we should also think about this small, we should go to shopping to small shops, or not always the gross shops, because these small shops also need earning, and we should save these small firms. As I told you, many people they become unemployed because of they cannot make sales, and they learn less money, and we need to improve the communication with our friends, with employees, and the other things, and we need to reorient the activities of people and our students. As I told you, we see from our project that the staying inactive, staying at home is a problem, and we should know there is there are opportunities, especially in technology. There is a lot of new things in technology, and that means new work opportunities in technology. And the health sector, they need more workers, more production, like masks or infections, disinfectants for their due to these infections. They need new products for the health sector, the food sector. So there's also opportunities, as I know. Some new shops are open. They give just online sales, so they send the products to the homes of people, or they make service to the homes, and they take orders from some ads, from some programs, or from WhatsApp. So they change their service style. And they are really good now. So the hybrid method probably will be a new kind of education. So and the students, we should care about the students' mental, because the pandemic really made their mental low level, and especially, as I told you, from our study, from our projects, we should focus all female students, because they have more stress or more mental problems. These are also in other countries, they found the same results. So we should also give more attention to the females, because maybe their nature is different. So if we have, this is the articles we have published from these projects. We did it in 2 years about the mental well-being of students in 15 countries. This is the articles we have published until now. If somebody they have interest for them, I can send them the link of these articles. Maybe they wanted to read it. So that's all from me.
Yeah, thank you, Professor Imran Islan from Bengal University. Okay, thank you for you to deliver the great speech and with the great data from Turkey. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we go to the last keynote speaker. We go to the Dr. Henry Herman, SE MSI CTT. They will deliver the speech under the title "Developing Business Amid Pandemic Condition." Dr. Henry Herman, time is yours.
Okay, right. Thank you very much, Pak Samad. Very nice. Okay, the first I would like to say Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Before I'm continuing my presentation, I would like to say the honorable to Mrs. Andri Tentri Umu as chairman of Yapista. How are you? And also I would like to say for the honorable to of structural in the University Ibnu Sina, and also for all of lecture. Good afternoon for you. And the third, I would like to say to the honorable to our student of Magister Management Ibnu Sina University. I love it. Okay, thank you very much. Okay. Also, I would like to say to thank you for all of speaker in here. This is they are is I'm choose this very clever. So I believe it, and I choose from Philippines, and I choose also from Malaysia, Terengganu. Also, I choose from Turkey. I appreciate and amazing for me to the first time I do it like the seminar international here. And also I would like say to Professor Imrana, you are very clever. You can get the 4 country or 5 country from language from Germany, also from Istanbul and Kurdi, English. I very appreciate, but maybe you lucky, because this your country is between the others neighbor country. That's why it's you lucky. Same like Indonesia and Malaysia, So Indonesia is like can speak of Malay of Malaysia can speak Malay also. Then also the Malaysia can understand what speak Indonesia because there's almost same the culture. Okay, right. So if the Prof. Khatijah is say the how to business for trend recovery, and also I want to say how to developing of business and amid pandemic condition. Of course, this is developed is for the business in during COVID is very important, and as we know, in the era of the COVID-19 pandemic, people are encouraged to stay in the work at home more. Of course, sebagaimana kita ketahui, teman-teman banyak di sini stay di rumah, working from home in the COVID-19 era has given rise to various business ideas during the pandemic, because by working at the home, people can manage the time between their the slight job, the emergence, and various business can do it everything, so you free, you can do what do you want, so you can should be the creative during the pandemic COVID. Also, the emergence of various business ideas to the COVID-19 pandemic can certainly be carried by various groups ranging from student, employee, and housewives. Okay. In the trend, if the Prof. Khatijah is talk like the trend, the business in the during pandemic COVID, I would like to share to you for the 7 business ideas during a pandemic that generate big profit. Of course, the all of employee they should be the profit is more better. And 7 business ideas during pandemic is there are various business ideas during pandemic that can be done to increase income, increase money. So business ideas during pandemic come from hobbies. You can what do your hobbies? What do you search? Cooking, gardening, exercising, and other activity. I think like the girl, so the hobbies is the cooking. Like the man, the like hobbies, the like structural of fitness, like that, and gardening, whatever. And in fact, there are many business ideas during pandemic that do not require venture capital, but the but the various production regarding culinary, clothing, various furniture that can be consumer choice. Nah, this is very important for the what we our hobbies. And then the second one is culinary business. Yeah, this is culinary, because as I know, in the magister management in the class, that hobby is culinary. Yeah, sometimes it's after the free and student after learn in the class go to culinary, and that's I think is culinary is very important for our business. Maybe that's your this hobbies like cooking and hobbies that like culinary in that's good as business for you. Okay, the culinary is one the business ideas during pandemic. Yes, as I explained before, they continues to progress. Moreover, for those who have hobbies cooking, they can start to open daily catering. Like maybe your neighbor also, maybe your friend also, maybe your family also. Like they have the business catering. This why not? If your hobbies is your host also the hobbies the culinary hobbies the cooking, but why not you can try it for the cooking. Okay, the trick is like become a wellness expert. You know, means what the wellness expert is. The miss in the COVID pandemic, how the most important kesehatan itu sangat penting. Ya, sangat penting sekali kesehatan. This also open opportunity those who like the exercise to service such as being fitness tutor. Yeah, maybe the girl also, maybe that man also. After walking, after the tired for the walking, whatever the play together with the friend also. This is fitness is choice. How to make our health become first, become the fresh. Moreover, many help to support facility as such gym like you know we also go to the gym and swimming pool and are close the mid of the pandemic. No need to leave the house. You can become online fitness tutor, a fitness consultant. Okay, is number 4. Like the tutor, as your in here, the student I know you very clever. You know, you also the student is very high. Your student is magister in, but you can try like the tutor. Yeah, tutor is very important during pandemic. Like the pandemic period brought many changes, include school from home. Jadi bisa menjadi tenaga pengajar sekolah sebagai tutor juga ya. No doubt many parent need service of tutor ataupun bimbel. Jadi banyak juga orang-orang tua juga senang untuk mencari pembimbing sebagai tutor dalam bimbingan belajar anak-anaknya. Terus especially for parent who have difficult understanding, listen, and completing the children home to work. Tutor can make direct home visit while still implementing health protocol. Jadi sekarang tutor juga bisa datang ke rumah-rumah ya, ke rumah-rumah dengan bisa mendatangkan ke rumah-rumah dengan memperhatikan protokol. Jadi tidak harus online. Okay, right. The last is plan and ornamental fiscal cultivation business. Ya, sebagaimana kita lihat di kota Batam ini banyak orang bisnis ikan cupang mungkin ya. Because this is business is very important, you know. So many people to businesses will become rich because this can the fish the export to Malay, Philippines, or Jakarta or other country also. This is become big income. Can we make the rich about this? You know, so you see like in the television also, you see in the Google also, you see in the YouTube also. Many people announce about the first this business. People and the lake grow momentary plant and the rest betta fish. Jadi ikan cupang itu namanya betta fish ya. This opportunity can be used as business opportunity to sell ornamental plant and fish. Okay, and number six is the business of making and sanitizer. As you know, the sanitizer is very important during pandemic COVID in here. So we should be keep the how we should be keep the like the this like the masker. Everybody use this sanitizer and use the cloth of masker, cloth the mask. Maintaining cleaning is absolute thing due to the pandemic. Accordingly, the conditional minister of maritime aware and investment, yeah, or Menko manifest the official website COVID-19 COID. The public must comply with 3M, 3T, using hand, wearing mask, and maintain substantially while stressing. Testing, treatment, this a must prevent spread the COVID-19 virus. This certainly open up now opportunity, namely selling cloth masks and sanitizer. And the last, we have the like YouTuber. And you young man and you younger is YouTuber is very trending now. So maybe artists also become to YouTuber, also the people become YouTuber and influencer. So also our in the class that we have the percentage about YouTuber influencer. We do the for the management marketing. This is influence. This is important to your hearing and it's important for you try. What is YouTuber influencer? In addition to various business ideas during pandemic, YouTuber, influence, and other type were that busy the midst in the COVID. Jadi banyak artis-artis juga sudah masuk ke dalam YouTuber ini. Artis bisa didatangkan menjadi influencer. This is important because it's become money. How come you can try? You can learn. You can ask your friend what they are familiar with about this business. You can learn, you can teach, and you study about it. And pandemic is many reason, many people entertain to meet the other routine at home. You can start activity social media and collect a follower to become an influencer or YouTuber. Various content can be created such covering, song, sharing, type and information, sharing recipes on positive, entertaining thing. Those same business ideas during pandemic are that most don't generate by big profit. So which do you want to try? So up to you. You know your hobbies, you're familiar, you're clever, you can skill. What do you want? You can the gardening, you can the cooking, you also the every day, every after working, you can also the culinary. So if you want to try about this business, please from now. Okay, just enough for my presentation today. So I hope everything is well. I hope everything we can make benefit how to bring this business become clever. Okay, just enough my presentation. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Pak Henry. And I would like to pick up the question. Okay. Before it, I will to remind you all participants that you can type. Yeah, you can make your in your Q&A. Yeah, in your Q&A Zoom, typing your question, and then also you can raise your hand. Yeah, and your Zoom application. Okay, I'm waiting for the question. Okay.
Okay, for my student, please, if you have any question, you can open your mic and you can talk in here.
Okay, please directly. Can talk. Yeah, question. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to introduce myself. I am Muhammad Abdul Halik, a student of Magister Management, Class 1B
Okay. Yeah.
from Ibnu Sina University, Indonesia.
Yeah. Thank
I
you.
want to ask to Dr. Henry Herman,
Hmm.
in your speech about 7 business idea during a pandemic that generate big profits, most young trends to choose to be a YouTuber, right? But in the fact, they find difficult to rise up the rank, viewers, subscribers in the short term. Maybe do you have any tips or methods how to handle this problem?
Yeah.
That's enough. Okay. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Directly we give to Dr. Henry. Yeah. The question is, yeah. Question. You repeat again. Yeah. How to? Yeah. Yeah. He asked you. Do you have tips how to handle the problem that when a student become people, many people to make YouTube a YouTuber, yeah, YouTuber, but the difficulty to raise up the rank up, the rank, yeah, to raise up the rank, the raise up the rank.
Okay,
And
Abdul.
the viewers, subscriber as well. They have same problem as well. Yeah. Okay.
Wah, Abdul is class B. Abdul is young, you know. This first time the question for me because this YouTuber maybe Abdul. Okay, right. YouTuber. The tip of YouTuber maybe become you want to like the YouTuber also. Okay, that any type how to make become famous like that, huh?
The tips how.
The tips.
Yeah.
Okay. For the all of student, yeah, this is a question from Abdul from student of Magister Management class B, I think. Yeah, this is customer is values analysis to several strength and weakness relative to be competitor. Jadi should be relative competitor. Jadi kita harus tahu dulu ya bagaimana sih konten-konten dari kompetitor kita ya. Jadi kita harus tahu kontennya. Terus we should be now how about when we the YouTuber we should be now our quality. This of course this is very important because this is how to know our skill, our professional is important. If we don't know our quality is impossible, we can grow up, we can become the familiar, become the famous, ya. Jadi customer value analysis is carried out the following 5 step. Jadi kita harus mengikuti 5 step, ya. Apa sih yang harus diikuti 5 step itu agar kita menjadi YouTuber bisa menjadi baik seperti teman-teman kita yang udah lebih famous, lebih terkenal dengan YouTubernya. Nah, the first you ask customer about level contribute, ya. Jadi tanya ke yang kita punya customer, kita sudah punya follower, tanya dulu, ya. Ya, kita tanya dulu, ya. Jadi to ask your customer about the level attribute, benefit and performance, ya, they are looking for the when choosing product and service provider. Jadi maksudnya itu cari dulu kompetitornya, ya, apa sih yang dibeli sama mereka, apa sih yang dibutuhkan pada YouTuber, kualitas seperti apa sih, konten seperti apa sih yang mereka inginkan. Nah, itu harus dicari dulu, ditanyakan dulu ke customer, maunya itu selera pasar itu seperti apa sih. Taste of market itu macam-macam. Jadi we should be asking first what the taste of market about YouTuber. Seleranya apa? Terus number 2, value the quantity significant of different attribute and benefit. Jadi value of quantity ya signifikan itu different attribute. Jadi usahakan kita itu konten kita itu yang berbeda-beda dari yang lain. Jangan don't make your boring content. Udah banyak orang, kita juga buat konten itu, terus kita juga mempersiapkan not familiar, not famous, not bad quality. Of course, it's become down. The number thing is assess the performance of your and competitor based on value different customer and compare with your rating. Jadi kita selalu melihat rating kita seperti apa sih, compare kita itu dengan yang lain seperti apa sih. Nah, ini lihat performance kita, how our performance about our kualitas in the YouTuber. This is very important. Is number 4, observe customer value all the time. Jadi selalu mengecek customer itu setiap saat, ya, setiap waktu. And the last, make lot a quantity content according the market. Jadi if you want to make the content with the good quality in the market, I believe you become the upgrade, you become the famous because of YouTuber. So if my message for you, so if you want to do something, please, you should be professional. You know what you want, you know what do you want to do. Okay, Pak, just enough for my my answer for the question from Abdullah.
Okay, thank you, Pak Henry. Yeah, Pak Henry look like a professional YouTuber, yeah, when you are. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, this the answer from Pak Henry for the question delivered to Pak Henry. Okay, now we go to the next question. Any question, please raise your hand or type in your Q&A. Yeah. Yeah, please. Okay. Your question address to ke siapa pertanyaannya? Okay.
Halo, assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Okay, is my voice clear?
Okay, yeah, clear.
Okay. Yes. My name is Shemin Safitri Mardiani. I'm from class 1A, and I would like to ask to Dr. Imran Aslan.
Yeah.
So, Dr. Imran, in your presentation before, you presented about assist small business double resilience. Yes, and I want to point out about establishing youth accelerators. So, can you elaborate more on how to establish these youth accelerators so they may be able to give expert coaching, and how this can strengthen the young entrepreneur in your country specifically, so they can survive during the pandemic? Yeah, is that my question? So thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Imran. I repeat again the question. The point of the question is how. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. How to. Yeah. Yeah. The question: how the entrepreneur in your country, can survive during this pandemic? Based on your data, recently what you find out based on this one. Yeah. The young entrepreneurs also in your country also maybe they also had same problem with any other country like Indonesia also. How we can survive in this condition? Okay.
Hello, thank you for your questions.
Yeah.
During the lockdowns, especially new enterprises, or I saw some new entrepreneurs that they opened shop. And they try to sell their products online, like from local products. I mean, from the far village, they put their products and they put some labels like organic foods, organic chicken, organic meat, and they try to advertise by Instagram. I mean, they find the groups and they put their links or their things on this group, like in the Bengal area. If there are some potential customers, they put their links and they introduce themselves or they put the videos, and then they can get the orders online. They get the payment online. And then they said like the cheese, like the chicken. I bought also from this kind of things, especially the oil, olive, and the chicken, the organic. And they try to sell their products online. And I bought honey from one producer. He brings the honey with his car to my home.
Oh,
So they try to adapt digital, because they know the people they're at home more. They don't go outside. They don't travel a lot. And now the thing is that they advertise their product digitally, and they do buy themselves, and they don't pay the money. I say they found the groups like Instagram or in the Facebook, and they become the member, and they make advertisement over these groups, and they try to find the customers. This is one way. And for the young entrepreneurs, especially who make the production, maybe as I told you, they need the government support. If they have a problem, if they have a financial problem, the government should support them, and also the government should help them to make the new business, especially in these times, because the hard times. Maybe they need the loan or some banking support, so the government maybe can give them some consultancy. Some ways how to find the funds, how to use them, how to find the customers. This kind of things can be beneficial, in my opinion.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Imran. Yeah, okay. The answer is clear. Maybe same as Indonesia also, the young entrepreneur also they do the same way. Instagram, they use Facebook also to solve the problem, to survive their business. Thank you, Dr. Imran. Okay, now we go to another question. Yeah, maybe we have two questions ready. Any other question to address? Maybe the question to our keynote speaker, to Dr. Usman and Professor Khadijah. Any question? The address to this one.
Can I have the floor for a very few comments?
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, all those suggestions and answers from the speakers were all accepted. A while ago, I mentioned that the mantra, the very purpose of my presentation is look at the situation in a macro perspective, because no amount of efforts on the business sector to thrive and to survive during pandemic, there is a need to have a positive intervention from other sectors, for example, the government. Because remember, you can start your mind that everything is collapsed. Small entrepreneurs have no capital to resurface again, to survive again. And that situation comes in the very important role of the government in microfinancing by reducing the, if we call it interest or profit on the part of the government. Immediately the government needs to provide assistance, financial assistance to the small businesses. Otherwise, they cannot exist again. Other than that, you still need a very clear policy in the government, because it is now the government having the resources, but the private sectors have not. Remember, a while ago, the question is, how could we be a good YouTuber? Still, you need a positive support and intervention of the government. Remember, in the case of the Philippines, our government is now running after all these YouTubers getting a lot of money out of their YouTube content because they have to pay taxes. They have to pay. They have to pay the required taxes, of which the government is now crafting a clear how much is the percentage on what methodology on applying the collection of taxes, and all these initiative from the business sectors again may not be so successful without having a clear and very synchronized rules of engagement between the government and the business sector. Remember, this is a very new phenomenon, the coming of this, what we call this pandemic, wherein everybody, the government, the private sector, whatever kind of business organizations were caught red-handed because we are not prepared, we do not have rules and policies to be followed. Even if you have a business, what can you do when the mobility is very restrictive because the government have a very indiscriminate rules and regulation? They do not distinguish that this particular sector, which is part of the frontliner, delivering of goods, something like that, has to be given a fast lane, a special or exclusive treatment when other sectors of the society not involved in the basic needs of the people. So again, what I'm trying to deliver a message. That is why I submit whatever presentation of other speakers. I accepted it, but I'm not trying to bring you to another angle so that we can look at and we can consider other gaps that we need to look into. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Maybe another question. Anybody want to ask?
Dear
Okay,
Professor,
yeah.
can I add something?
Okay.
Maybe some things like decreasing the costs. They can organize their process again for small enterprises. They should find how to decrease the cost. Maybe in Turkey, some people who need to pay the rent, I mean the owner of the shop, they decrease the rent, or maybe the people they cannot pay the rent, so they didn't pay the rent of the shops for a while. These are some helps that coming from the community for the people to sustain their activities. So this is also, I mean, the people, they can help each other. I mean, like don't take the renting cost from the shops for a while until he can get the business good again. This is a way, and we should I mean this also is a beneficial. I mean, some people also they couldn't pay their home rent. So some people from the community, they don't take the rent until they start to work again. I mean, the people, the owners of the home do this kind of things they do. So this also can be a way, in my opinion, like decreasing the cost. Maybe they is not good, but they can decrease instead of layoffs. I mean, dismiss a worker. Maybe they can decrease their salary for a while until the business is good again. And then when the business is good again, then they can increase their salary back. So the cost decreasing strategy is also, I mean, can help them at least to sustain their activities and to stay for the future.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Professor Imran. You are additional. Okay, we go to the next question. Any question? Yeah, okay, please.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Yeah, okay.
Can hear clear?
Yeah, I can hear you.
My name is Rika Yolanda from 1B class. I want to ask to Mr. Usman.
Yeah, Usman.
as Mr. Usman explained that it's that in business sectors or organizations should be revisit their business plans and programs, develop new and customized strategies like human resource sales, selling, marketing, and production. During global health crisis, can you explain about related in Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao?
Okay, thank you. Okay, I repeat again to Dr. Usman. The question is, can you repeat again? And this related to the case in Bangsamoro, yeah, Bangsamoro, the autonomous region. Yeah. How the strategies, human resource, selling, marketing, and production that you find out in Bangsamoro of Mindanao. Okay. Yeah, Dr. Usman, time is yours.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the question. What I'm trying to explain is that it is now timely that every business sectors should revisit their business and operation plan. Why? Because they have to entertain the idea that because of the experience that we have in the pandemic, we have to adapt or customize strategies so that we can continue the existence of any business for that. For example, in the case of the human resources, partly it was explained in the first presenter that first you have to do an assessment as to the capacity of your people, of your human resources. Maybe if they are not good in technology, immediately, as they have explained, you have to immediately do a retooling, or you have to capacitate, or you have to provide a training to your people so that they can be conversant and they know the new technology. And somehow you have to do a customized, because probably your people may not have a good education in technology, because the very fact that they are just a workers, they may not have a good level of knowledge in understanding technology. So you have to go down to their level. You have to customize how they can understand the use of technology.
Yeah.
In the aspect of selling, yes, you have to utilize the social media, the Instagram, of all these platforms, but still you have to entertain that you are in a very remote place, not yet well developed. In the case of most of the areas in Bangsamoro, you cannot just simply rely on the social media, because you have to assume that not all people have access in IT gadget and connectivity. That is why the example is in the first part of the program, I have to travel almost an hour getting out of our town, because we have a very poor electric energy supply, and it is also affecting the quality of our internet connectivity. So something like that, you have to customize. You cannot immediately migrate to the digitalization of all these activities, because the place where you are is not yet ready for that. So therefore, you have to do an hybrid marketing strategy or selling. And in the case of production, yes, if you have if your company, if your business is doing a production in a separate plant or in a separate place, and because of the restriction, the limited mobility of the people, you have to entertain idea that maybe your product can be done in the backyard. So something like that. I am not totally negating the fact that we are still in a situation that we are not yet ready to have a total migration in the information technology. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Usman. This is I can feel also how hard you doing in your Mindanao. There's a suddenly blackout, yeah. Suddenly blackout is a big problem. Okay, thank you for the question and the answer. Now we go to the other question, please, before we closing. We have another question. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, before we closing our international webinar, I like to take some notes based on the our keynote speaker. First, our first speaker from Professor Khadija Umar, that understanding the new needs and prioritize of customer and how support them virtually, manufacturing new products and training new hires, employees, all requirements, new set and of capability and competence. So this is one point of the I can take. And then the second one from our keynote speaker from Dr. Usman Ragasi, business sector organized should be revisit their business plans and programs, adapt new and customer strategies. Yeah, human resource, selling, marketing, production. Yeah, during for the global health and the condition in the country. Then the third keynote speaker from Dr. Professor Imran, that I can take note. The business support organization to support small business and improve their ability to improve resilience, and adapt business process by applying common sense, precaution, and restructuring operation. And then the last one, our keynote speaker, Dr. Henry Herman SE. There are various business ideas during the pandemic that can be done to increase income. Business ideas during pandemic can be come from hobbies. There are 7 ideas during a pandemic that could generate big profit as, for example, as YouTuber. Okay, I think that's all. Thank you very much. I am Samad as moderator. Would like to ask your forgiveness if there are any mistakes in serving you all at this international webinar. Thank you very much and see you next week. Sorry, Ma. See you another international webinar or see you another international seminar. Thank you. Ya, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, right. Thank you, Pak Samad. Thank you. You're clever also. You can make the good conclusion from start until finish. So thank you very much. And please welcome Bu Herdi. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine.
Wah.
Mr. Henry, Dr. Henry, still here to accompany me. Okay?
Yes, you like beautiful now.
Oh, thank
Yes.
you so much.
Yes, because this will become the one frame. So before we like the make MC together with the international
couple
seminar.
MC, right?
Yes, now becoming again together.
Yeah.
Yes, but you're clever, you know. You go to the master ceremony. You alone also you can do it with the better, you know.
I'm still learn.
Okay.
Okay. I repeat again, thanks to the moderator for hosting the webinar so wonderfully, and also to all of participants who were very enthusiastic during the webinar. There is many questions I see before from the participant for all of keynote speaker. I think it's very useful to get information about the business in the midst of pandemic COVID-19. Okay, finally, Mr. Henry, we are at the end of this webinar. Actually, this very sad to end this webinar, but we hope we can meet again in another event.
Okay, because this is because it's big support from our rector,
Oh,
also the big
yeah.
support from our dean.
Yes.
Yes, also the special for our student from Magister Management.
Oh,
you
give
very
big
nice, you
applause
very
from-
support for the all of activity in the Magister Management.
Yes, give a big applause, I think, for Magister Management student.
Yes.
And like we asked before that this webinar will become an annual webinar, right?
Yes, this is every year we would like to do here. We done about it because this is make the experience for our student, also the make experience for the all of student in Magister Management, and also this is should be follow our international seminar, because this before examination of thesis should be have the seminar certificate.
All right, and we hope we can ask, or we can invite again from Turkey, from Philippines, yeah.
Yes,
Mr.
we try
Henry.
the best. Of course, this is because it's all of our speaker is my best friend from the others country. But well, so when we want to like you again, we do it like the seminar international. We want the looking for the others, my friend from Australia and
Oh,
from
yeah.
Germany.
Yeah, I think we can invite another speaker from the other country.
Yes.
Additional speaker, I mean.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. Before that, we inform to all of participants to fill the absence in the Zoom. There are links, right? Oh, in chat room there are links. Please fill the absence with your name or all of the segment in absence.
Okay, don't forget you put your name, your number, Nick, also, because this is we want to our IT for want to print the certificate. So
Oh,
please
yeah.
don't forget to put your name in there. Thank you.
Yes. Actually, your name is complete, right? Because
Yes.
for the certificate.
Yes, we need a few days because this should be approved by speaker also.
Oh, they're assigned from the speaker, the keynote speaker, all of
Yes.
keynote speaker.
Yes.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm as MC would like to thank all of the participants, in particular our deepest gratitude and appreciation to all the keynote speaker and committee. And we don't forget, we represent all the committee in charge of apologizing profusely for all of the mistakes during this event. Jalan-jalan ke Pulau Putri. Oh, I give a poem again, pantun.
Yes, of course.
Like a culture in
because this,
Malay.
yes, yeah, this is pantun. Maybe the Prof Usman also, maybe from Prof Imal also don't know what it is this pantun, because this pantun is our habit of our country, our habit for our culture.
Yeah.
But for the Malay is maybe already same like Indonesia.
Yeah, right. Jalan-jalan ke Pulau Putri. Jangan lupa bawa sambal tomat. Berakhir sudah webinar hari ini. Semoga bisa memberi manfaat. Ladies and gentlemen, let's close this event by saying hamdalah. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Thank you very much, and wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Once more, thanks again, thanks a lot for keynote speaker from Philippines, Malaysia, and Turkey.
Okay, see you again. Bye bye. Thank you very much for all of it here. Yes, mantap, sukses ya Bu.